does it not make it more beautiful than this? Temperature 60, low humidity, modest winds. What a day as Packers and the Chiefs ready to work. Let's go down to the field and Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, when Dante Hall had 3 returns for touchdowns last year, he half-jokingly wondered, I wonder what the single-season record is. Well, now that he's tied it at 4, he said it's gotten a whole lot harder to get to the end zone. He said kickers used to give me these high, tight spirals right down the middle. Now it's pooch kicks and too much hang time, but we're prepared for everything. He said his Chiefs teammates on special teams have an attitude now, and they believe every time I get the ball, we can take it to the house.
All right, Bonnie, and Hall at age 25 has set his own NFL record 4 consecutive weeks with a return for a touchdown. Pittsburgh, then Houston, and Baltimore, and Denver. The last 2 games, Dante Hall has won it for the Chiefs with a 4th quarter return. 100 yards, his return against Pittsburgh on the kickoff. As
I would suspect, Dick, that he's going to see knuckleballs like Hoyt Wilhelm was throwing him at. If he gets a high, tight one down the middle, I'll fall over.
About all he can hope for is one of those takes a nice, healthy over-end bounce to him. He stands inside the 5. Ryan Longwell has the ball fly off the tee. Derek Blaylock is one of the 4 in the wedge in front of Dante, and Blaylock, who has great speed, a running back behind Priest Holmes. They figure that if the kick should be short, he's not bad himself, although he would work in tight quarters. 71,000 plus in the new Lambeau, and it's end over end toward the sidelines, and there's the 40-yard line.
Wow, that's what he does. He scared Longwell into that ball wasn't even close to staying in the field of play. And that is one of the most punitive penalties in the game of football. It goes all the way up to the 40-yard line. That is a large, large mistake.
By normal standards, that's a terrific opening kickoff return to get the ball on the 40-yard line. That does define good opening field position for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mike Sherman in his 4th year here with the Packers, and solid as can be as the head man of the pack. On first down, Trent Green fakes the reverse, then throws a screen, and it's incomplete. In fact, it hit an offensive lineman. Kabir Bajabiamila and Cledius Hunt were right there for the Packers. Priest Holmes, the intended receiver, but it hit a lineman, as there was good pressure by Hunt that forced Green to throw it a little quicker than he had hoped. Obviously, that is off a play they've been using, the reverse and then the double reverse, and they were going to throw a screen off it.
Illegal touching of a forward pass. Offense number 76. A 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Big John Tate, the right tackle, it hit him. Kansas City's offense, Green gets this team off to their best start in history. 8-time Pro Bowler Willie Roaf starts at left tackle. He had a bout with a gout this week, and Priest Holmes again bringing big numbers, tied for the league lead, 7 touchdowns. Hall is in there on 1st and 15. Draw play, and Holmes gets only 3 yards against the tough interior defensive line of the Packers. Here's how they start today. Kabir Bajabiamila brings a sack speed from the edge. He had 12 last year. Rookie #1 draft pick. Middle linebacker Nick Barnett leads Green Bay in tackles, and ball hawking Darren Sharper has 26 interceptions in the last 4+ seasons.
The Packers are thin on their defensive line. They've got 2 guys, Aaron Campman and Chucky Wakori, out with injuries, so they're going to be a little thin on their rotation.
That's Hall in motion. They fake the reverse, then they throw in the flat. Johnny Morton, he was one of the men in the initial scheme on the reverse. He gets it out to the 45. It'll be 3rd down and 5. Mike McKenzie, the tackler for Green Bay.
The Chiefs coming out, I think, trying to surprise Green Bay, expecting a lot of power football, and what they're getting is a lot of motion in the backfield. That's twice now. We've seen crisscrossing receivers. This play originally designed for this guy right here, Tony Gonzalez, coming across the middle, but he's picked up and covered by Darren Sharper. So a lot of misdirection early by Kansas City, a little abnormal for them.
Now they go out of the shotgun.
Trent Green saying, pick those guys up in the middle.
Gonzalez is slotted right. Green, incomplete. He threw behind his receiver, big Tony Gonzalez, and incomplete. Gonzalez was open.
He was very open, and Trent Green threw this ball way behind Tony. He's moving one way, tries to make the adjustment, just can't bring it in. That was a pretty easy completion for a Chiefs first down, but bad throw.
Jason Baker, third-year kicker out of Iowa. Antonio Chapman, his longest return this year, 33 yards.
I think Chapman's maybe saying, hey, folks, what about me? You know, I'm not so bad either. Hall's not the only return guy in this game.
High kick that floats to the 10. Chapman lets it go, and the big bounce gives the Packers the ball in the touchback at the 20-yard line. 55, but only 35 net for Baker. Here comes Brett Favre and the Green Bay offense. Favre has had 2 hot games after a season slow start. Chad Clifton at tackle, part of a solid athletic Green Bay line. Amon Green, third in NFL rushing, and he's tied with Priest Holmes with 7 touchdown runs. That's interesting, isn't it, that he's taken scalp everywhere he's gone in the National Football League. Never beaten Kansas City. 0-2. You have to play Houston. The give is to Amon Green, and gingerly works his way for a yard or 2. Scott Fujita in the Kansas City defense with the tackle, and here's how they line up defensively. Ex-Packer Vonnie Holiday brings a team leading 4 sacks back to Green Bay. Sean Barber from the Eagles. Vermeil praises his speed and intelligence, and Dexter McCleon, the ex-Ram, has bolstered the Chiefs' back 4. He has 3 interceptions. On second and long, and a flag down as they had tossed it to Amon Green, and we hear from referee Ron Winter.
False start. Offense, number 62. 5-yard penalty. Remains second down.
That takes it back to the 16-yard line. Dick Vermeil, he's been a man of his promise. He figures it takes 3 years to get a team ready to make a solid move in the playoffs, and this then is the year for the Chiefs, and he certainly has them out of the gate perfectly. Second and 14. Favre's first throw over the middle, and they pick up the short yardage to Wesley Walls, the veteran from Ole Miss, and he's able to fight his way for a couple of extra in the arms of Mike Maslowski.
Well, the number 1 tight end for the Packers is Bubba Franks, but what a nice addition when you can pick up a 15-year guy who's still got some gas in his tank like Wesley Walls. There's Bubba Franks, who's been to the Pro Bowl the last couple of years, and Brett Favre being patient. He knows he had a long way to go to pick up a first down, and he can do it in 2 pieces rather than trying to do it all at once.
3 wide for the Packers. Third down 6. Fires over the middle and wide open is Donald Driver. And Driver's out near midfield before Jerome Woods can shag him down. And Driver, who has been playing injured, was a little bit gimpy in the practice this week, does not get up immediately.
Well, Driver this time working out of the slot, working against man coverage. Jerome Woods has locked up one-on-one with Driver, and on an inside move, Driver has a real advantage there. But this is the Green Bay Nation has their heart in their throat right now. This guy has really become an outstanding football player.
He broke through last year to end 70 catches to lead the team and had 9 touchdowns. That was also the best.
He's put together a really nice run here.
Yeah, oh, look at that. Ooh, that hurt.
Hey, look, what's this? Someone's entered the arena. Get that guy out of here for crying out loud.
It's sack-on time.
I'll tell you, he doesn't see him. This could get ugly.
Oh!
Oh, my. I have no words for what we've just seen. I'm speechless. Utterly incomprehensible.
Maybe I don't own a fancy building or a big shipping department yet. Brown still takes my business seriously. I can print labels, track shipments, order a pickup right from here. And with the time I save, I can build my business. Maybe I'm not exactly part of the limousine set, but I have a driver.
Small business shipping, synchronized. UPS, what can Brown do for you?
Entertainment Weekly says the new Survivor is so good. One tribe nabbed the other's MVP.
Rupert's got to hang out with the enemy.
Now, will the gentle giant control both tribes?
He's been a godsend.
Rupert went to the other side.
Or overplay his hand?
I will end up alienating someone.
Plus, if you think you've seen outrageous food challenges,
That's disgusting.
wait till you get a whiff of this one.
Man, that was funky.
Don't miss an all-new Survivor, CBS Thursday.
Welcome back. The read on Donald Driver's body language is that he was not seriously injured, appears ready to return. It's a first down just shy of midfield for the Packers on their first possession. Amon Green lined up in the eye behind Favre. Over 500 yards rushing in the first 5 games. This a reverse off the fake and the give to Javon Walker. And Walker gets back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Smothered on a good surge led by John Browning. Vonnie Holliday, the ex-Packer on the defensive right side, cut off the reverse.
A man with some experience playing on this field. A defensive end, if you have backside responsibility, you don't leave until the ball is visibly gone the other side. And that was really excellent by Holliday of turning him back inside. That was that's a veteran move by a veteran defensive end.
Okay.
2nd and 10, empty backfield. Favre wide open is Green, pushed out of bounds immediately at the Kansas City 44. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Well, Lambeau Field, and this is no surprise. What an advantage. The Packers, how well they play here. Better since 1992 than anyone in the NFL by a considerable amount over the 49ers and Denver and all the rest.
Of course, it helps that number 4 has been under center the whole time.
That's amazing.
His longevity streak, his consecutive game streak is just remarkable.
I mean, Cal Ripken, you know, that's as high as it gets in that game and higher. Whoever would have thought he would have broken Lou Gehrig's mark. But what Favre has done, 179 straight starts.
I'm registering for the wedding.
Hey, send her a picture of that one. Nothing says I love you like chrome pipes.
Be there with the most whenever minutes and a T-Mobile camera phone.
T-Mobile.
Get more.
How about something with a pool?
A hunting lodge. Kids will love that. How about something with a pool?
Lots of photos. Another way Expedia helps you find the hotel that's right for you.
Expedia.com. He's put together a really nice run here.
Yeah, oh, look at that. Ooh, that hurt.
Hey, look, what's this? Someone's entered the arena. Hey, get that guy out of here for crying out loud.
It's sack on time.
I'll tell you, he doesn't see him. This could get ugly.
Oh!
Oh, my. No words for what we've just seen. I'm speechless. Utterly incomprehensible.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Expedia.com. Don't just travel, travel right. T-Mobile, get more minutes, more features, more service. And by Toyota, get the feeling.
The irrepressible Vince Lombardi, the Great Packer coach.
The overcoat not needed today.
That's for certain. Favre going to run it and slides down at the 40. I don't think he got enough. The ball was back, and that's where they mark it, not where he goes down, where the ball was down, and that was the 41-yard line. It'll be 4th and 1.
Yeah, it's where the football is when his rear end hits the ground. Mike Myslowski, the middle linebacker, really had a bead on Brett. And this is the older, wiser Brett as he goes underneath that. A couple of years ago, he might have taken him on head on. Smart play by Brett.
Packers are going to go for it on 4th and 1, and it's a very quick huddle.
71.
Amon Green for the first down easily. Scott Fujita and others with a tackle, but Green behind the blocks of Rivera, Tosher, and an extra blocker, Kevin Berry.
And so smart to run this in a hurry. The defense is looking to the sideline. Are they going to send out a punt team, a field goal team? But you get up to the ball and you get into a standard formation and run it before the defense really has a chance to gather themselves. If you're going to take the chance and go for it on 4th down, that is the way to do it.
Made 5 yards on 4th and 1. Green hit hard, stays on his feet, second effort, and may have struggled for an advance of 1. Well, we're delighted to have the opportunity to watch this matchup. Amon Green, Priest Holmes.
Yeah, the two of the finest running backs in the game today. Remember Priest Holmes last year? He ended up with what, 1,500 to 1,615 yards, and that was missing the last 2 games. Amon Green has established himself as a legitimate NFL running back, one of the 5 best backs in the league. And both of these guys operate behind premium offensive lines. 2 of the top 3 lines in the league, in my opinion.
Favre off play action, throwing deep and open for a first down at the 11 is Robert Ferguson. It's quite an array of receivers for Favre. The only team in the league with 6 different receivers with 10 catches or more. There's Ferguson with his 14th of the year.
And they're young guys, and they're enthusiastic. And you talk to Brett Favre, he loves the way they practice. He loves the way they go about it. And Brett Favre will play catch with everybody. His pass distribution is second to none.
First down at the Chiefs 11. A very good drive for the Packers on their opening chance. The throw is to Henderson, and the fullback is inside the 5 to the 2-yard line. Sean Barber bumped him out of bounds, but a good gain of 9.
And again, another guy gets in on the action. When Brett's in the huddle, only the 5 linemen don't have a chance to play catch with Brett Favre. And that was outstanding movement in the backfield. It froze the Kansas City defense. Look at this already. Amon Green, look at all the guys. the most with 18, the least with 12. That is really called passing balance.
And Henderson stayed in bounds inside the 1, first and goal. Favre wide open, touchdown, Bubba Franks.
I'm telling you, he'd throw the ball to Max McGee and Boyd Dowler if he could find him.
That was a very impressive drive.
And somebody on the Kansas City defense is sleeping. You do not allow the tight end, A, to release off the line that cleanly in a goal line situation, and then you don't even bother to cover him. It's tough enough to win here at Lambeau without making it that easy, and Dick Vermeil knows it.
Extra point by Longwell. And it's good. 80 yards in 11 plays. Favre to Franks, and the Packers lead it 7-0.
Your everyday adventures and the SUV that helps you conquer them. The comfortable, refined Toyota Highlander. Now with a more powerful engine and available third-row seat.
Wishing and hoping and thinking and praying, planning. Each night of his charms, that won't.
Hey, Donovan! Surprise!
It's not my yard.
So if
you really want tickets to the game, just use your Visa. It's the card you know they'll take everywhere you want to be. Visa.
Hey, you!
Proud sponsor of the NFL.
Applebee's Take Two is back.
It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Make a dream come true.
Choose 2 of your favorite entrees for one mouth-watering plate. Eating good in the neighborhood.
I've made a lot of news on the baseball diamond, but if you want to find out about this diamond, you've got to go talk to your doctor.
See your doctor and find out if Viagra's right for you.
My doctor says it's right for me. That's why I stay with it. For more information, go to Viagra.com.
A 14-year-old was snatched from her bed.
What do we have here?
Who took her sister?
She said a monster. We need to look in this canal.
Get Horatio Kane on the phone.
All new CSI Miami, CBS Monday.
Welcome back, folks. You heard NFL Today and Brett Favre saying, you know, he's not ready to retire. Some may be coaxing him. He said, I've got a couple, 3 more years. How about that opening drive? 6 passes, 6 completions, 6 different receivers, 75 of the 80 yards off Favre's arm, and it's 7-0 Green Bay.
If only he had a command of the offense.
There's the bounce, and it's out of bounds. Another 40-yard start for Kansas City. So in respect to Dante Hall, the Green Bay special teams conceding almost midfield.
What did Ray Sherman tell us?
Kickoff out of bounds.
You know, we hear right off the bat.
By rule.
Mike Sherman, rather. But we hear right off the bat, they tried to kick it right, and he kept kicking it out of bounds. And what did he say? Well, we're not going to do that anymore. We'll kick left. Now he's kicking it out of bounds left.
Holding. Offense number 57. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down. We know they probably hold on virtually every play of the game. However, we purposely waited until now to actually make the call at this very critical juncture of the game. Just to tick you off.
Yeah.
Introducing Wrangler Rubicon, the mightiest Jeep 4x4 ever.
CBS Tuesday, an online game becomes deadly. Now NCIS is on the case. Mark Harmon.
Want the crew of this ship to die?
An all-new Navy NCIS. Then, attorney Nick Fallon has worked every kind of case.
We want to sue.
But none this bizarre.
That clinic fertilized my wife's egg with the wrong sperm. The child is half African-American.
With a twist.
We no longer have a claim against the clinic. Why?
You won't believe.
Do you think we could just keep this between us?
The Guardian after Navy NCIS, CBS Tuesday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Serta. We make the world's best mattress. And by Budweiser.
And welcome back to Lambeau Field. The Cheeseheads certainly off to a happy start as the Packers score 80-yard drive first possession. Now from the 40 on the kickoff out of bounds. Trent Green sets up shop. Priest Holmes tries the right side and struggles to get to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard. Joe Johnson burrowing along with Hannibal Navies.
Well, this is as easy as a touchdown gets. Bubba Franks right there. He's just got, first of all, you got to jam him, but Kansas City ignores him. They don't bump him and they don't cover him. And Brett Favre must think he's back in Mississippi, toss it around in the backyard. This is just, Brett, I'm sure, just can't believe it that the Chiefs ignore coverage on Bubba Franks.
Actually, Holmes did get to the 41. It's 2nd and 9. Green underneath, tackled immediately is Tony Richardson, the fullback, as Marcus Anderson, playing for Antoine Edwards, smelled it out. Let's go to New York in this update.
All right, thank you, Dick and Dan. Let's go down to Jacksonville. Miami puts together a nice little drive here at the start, but watch the cutback move by Ricky Williams. Hold on a minute. We're going the other way. It's going to be a 14-yard touchdown run with Favre on the block. Back to you.
Brett Favre would have liked that block by Favre.
Guys that big aren't supposed to be able to do that.
3rd down and 9. Green with a noise. Throws complete to Mark Bowrichter, but he's wrapped up before the first down. Darren Sharper, the Pro Bowler at safety, makes the tackle 2 yards short of the first.
Wow. Their 2 opening drives start at the 40-yard line, and the Chiefs do a pair of 3 and outs. That is not capitalizing on Ryan Longwell kicking the ball out of bounds and getting outstanding field position on the road. You've got to make something out of that. You're playing right into the Packers' hands.
Antonio Chapman, the first-year return man from Cincinnati. At the 10, there's Jason Baker. Slices this one to the right. Chapman fields at the 14. Up the sidelines and across the 25. And with it, a timeout. 5:13 left in this opening quarter in Green Bay. Packers with the ball and the lead by 7.
Look, CERT is the new way to fall asleep. Counting sheep, the old way. Solution, you gotta be new, now, happening.
Gonna put you to sleep with the sheep, with the sleep, and there's no...
You'll feel the difference the moment you lie down. Serta, we make the world's best mattress.
Got some big NFL appetites heading your way? Looks like you need the NFL deal from Pizza Hut and Pepsi. Order any large specialty pizza at regular price and you get a medium 1-topping pizza and a 2-liter of Pepsi for just $1.99 more. A Pizza Hut pizza and a Pepsi. Gather around the good stuff.
There's more than one victory lane.
Don't like waiting in line? At Staples, we'll get you in and out fast so you can get on with your day. Staples, that was easy.
2 married guys take a test to prove who's sexier.
Greg happens to be very appealing to women.
Stop laughing! And all new Yes Dear, CBS Monday.
Monday, Dave's all new with Halle Berry.
Would you like to hug again?
Plus, 5-time Tour de France champ Lance Armstrong and the latest Survivor Castaway, Monday.
And welcome back to Camber, Dan Dierdorf, and Bonnie Bernstein, our producer Lance Barrow, Mike Arnold, our director. Pleased that you joined us in Green Bay, where Dick Vermeil, he loves statistics. He won't enjoy that one, as Sherman, when he takes the lead, the Packers under his tutelage, they're 24-3. Vermeil keeps very expansive statistics and all possibilities. He knows that one as well as Sherman. Amon Green unable to get to full speed. May have gotten a yard. Greg Wesley up from the safety spot to make a hit.
Well, we talked about the way Brett Favre loves to involve everyone on his offense, lets them all play. It doesn't matter. Wesley Walls is in on the action. Donald Driver right there. Here comes William Henderson, his fullback. And then, of course, this was the easiest one of all. How about a wide-open Bubba Franks in the end zone? But Brett Favre, a sideline-to-sideline quarterback. Forget working one side of the field or the other. This guy sees all, knows all.
2nd and 10, a screen to Green. Whoa, what great footwork by Green in the open field, and he's out to the 45-yard line and beyond. Donald Driver, a world track jumper when he was at Alcorn State put on a big league block in front.
And out in front, that very mobile Green Bay offensive line, Mike Wall, Mike Flanagan, and a combination of good blocks, missed tackles, and then at the very end, a little power by Amon Green for another couple of yards. Well done.
Turned a 5-yard screen into a 21-yard gain. Now Green off right tackle. Stays on his feet to the 40 of Kansas City.
And again, a good block on the inside. Mike Wall, the left guard, comes across. Power football between the tackles. This is a very mobile offensive line. And look at that crease off right guard for Amon Green.
13 more yards and a first down. Very athletic Green Bay line.
And really, Amon Green lost his balance and went to the ground without being hit by Kansas City.
Najee Davenport in, but it's Favre to Walker, incomplete. The pass hung just enough for Dexter McCleon at the corner to race back. He was beaten by a step, but was able to burst to the ball and deflect it incomplete.
A good throw by Favre here results in another Green Bay touchdown. This one, indeed, look at that. Look at the lead, but the ball thrown short. Walker had an easy touchdown, and Brett just didn't put enough air under the football.
First miss by Favre in this first quarter. McCleon, who played for Dick Vermeil with the Rams, and he always liked him, brought him over, and has delivered 3 interceptions in the first 5 games.
He is human, I guess.
Down the middle, wide open again. It's this time to Wesley Walls to the 5-yard line.
It's hard to have a worse first quarter than the Chiefs are having so far. 6 plays on offense, and Green Bay shredding them defensively, both on the ground to Amon Green, and now Brett Favre finding a 15-year guy like Wesley Walls.
Every receiver, when the ball arrives, doesn't have a defender within 4 or 5 yards of him. 36 yards on the pass to Walls. First and goal from the 5. Green. He's got his 8th touchdown of the season.
And right now, the Chiefs are realizing the power of cheese.
It's a bit of alliteration there. A little cheese to the Chiefs.
This is not good for KC.
Longwell's extra point try. 14-0 Packers. This time it's Favre leading a 74-yard drive. 6 plays, the payoff to Amon Green.
There's no way this guy's going to make this kick. I mean, he hasn't made one over 45 all year. It's not a dome stadium. You've got the wind. Forget it. There's no way he makes his kick.
And the kick is up. He missed it.
What? How do you miss that? How do you miss that kick? There's no excuse for missing that. Please. I mean, the guy's got one job. Make kicks.
What a disappointing end.
My name's Jessie, by the way.
Hi.
Hi.
Pepsi and Lay's, official sponsors of the NFL.
You want the job?
I want the job.
90K.
180.
100.
170.
110.
160.
120.
150.
120.
140.
120.
Bonus? No bonus.
Done.
Okay, so we've picked out the TV, the surround sound, and you already have the DVD player. Right. Okay, so my home theater question to you is this. Do you have a movie where stuff blows up?
It's all here. Circuit City has all your favorite DVDs, all at great low prices. And we're the first place to go for new releases every Tuesday. Stop by Circuit City this Tuesday and pick up The Matrix Reloaded on DVD for just $14.99. Circuit City, we're with you.
You like power football? Here's your right tackle. Here comes another tackle at tight end, Kevin Berry, and here's your normal tight end. Look at this power to the right side of the formation, and to no one's surprise, Henderson leading, Amon Green, and it's just, boy, that is saying, here we come, folks. We dare you to try to stop us, and Kansas City wasn't up to it.
Speaking of a dare, after 2 kicks out of bounds, do you think he dares Ryan Longwell to kick it to Hall? Here it comes. They're going to drive it to Hall. He gets a chance, muffs it at the goal line, and is smart enough to kneel down and take it at the 20.
He might have lost that in the sun. That kickoff is coming to Dante Hall directly out of the sun.
A reminder, folks, tonight on CBS, Catherine Moore stars in TV's most watched new drama. Don't miss Cold Case tonight, right after 60 minutes, here on CBS. Here's an ominous note for you Kansas City fans. Green Bay has won 56 straight games here at home with a lead of 10 points in a game. Green throwing deep for Kennison, overthrows him, covered by Al Harris. Let's see what happened on that kickoff if it was in the sun here.
Well, it's a crystal clear day today, not a cloud in the sky, and Dante Hall obviously could not see that football coming at him directly out of the sun. You can see the shadow behind him there. He had no idea where that football was, and at the last minute actually even flinched a little bit, thinking that maybe it was going to hit him.
Yeah, the way the ball acted, I thought he actually got a piece of it, but he had shied away. An outfielder unable to see a high fly. Ball stays in as a receiver, 4 wide. Into the flat, complete to Hall, and he gains only a yard as Marcus Anderson quickly from a safety spot. Okay, gang, who is the NFL's 2003 MVP thus far? Would you vote for Stephen Davis, Dante Hall, Marvin Harrison, Peyton Manning, Randy Moss, or someone else? I guess we just got our first vote in. Cast yours at NFL.com.
The trouble for the Chiefs right now is down by this margin. Are they going to completely go away from Priest Holmes in the running game? Their strongest asset.
3rd and 9. Lots of time. Now Green throws, has a man open. Johnny Morris at the 50, and Morris took Johnny Morton, and he's out of bounds at the 41-yard line. Morton with a big catch on 3rd and 9. Marcus Anderson finally chased him down, but it's exactly the soup that the Chiefs needed here to cure the cough.
Well, the Packers pass rush broke down. No contain on the backside, and Trent Green was able to leave the pocket, move to his left, and buy himself another couple of seconds that allowed Morton to get open.
Veteran Morton's 14th catch of the season, good for 38 yards. Caught in the backfield, but Holmes breaks away to the 35. A flag down as Holmes out of bounds inside the 30. And Johnny Morton, who just caught that pass in the last play, may have been guilty of too much help for Priest Holmes.
And that is a backbreaker for Kansas City. They just desperately need to get Priest Holmes running the football. They can't go entirely into a passing mode.
Holding. Offense number 80. 10-yard penalty.
That's Johnny Morton all the way at the top of your screen. He's locked up there with Mike McKenzie. Al Harris, rather, that corner on that side, and gets his arms to the outside. But now here we now go into a first down situation, but it's forever.
1st and 16 from the Packer 47. Flags down. Green over the middle. Complete. And it's Johnny Morton. So Morton, then Morton with a foul, then Morton with a catch. And it appeared Cledius Hunt, the defensive tackle, was offside, and that would be declined, obviously.
Offside. Defense number 97. Penalties declined. The Play results in a first down.
Well, Johnny Morton got called for holding Al Harris. This time he's going to go one-on-one with Al Harris in man coverage and gets away from him to the inside. So Kansas City, even though they had the penalty, overcame it now in a good field position.
38 and 21-yard receptions by Johnny Morton. Green down the middle, wide open, touchdown to Tony Gonzalez. And the former Cal basketball star gives it the dunk with his third touchdown reception of the season. One of the premier tight end players, if not the best in the league.
He's really working against just a cover 2 zone here for the Green Bay Packers. And when he looks right at the safety right here, Marcus Anderson completely bites on that little outside juke by Tony Gonzalez. That's a really pretty simple coverage. The safety just sitting back there waiting for Gonzalez to come into the deep middle, and he's got him, and he really chewed on that little shoulder fake by Tony Gonzalez.
And an injured defensive lineman, Joe Johnson, and that's where the Packers are thin with the Aaron Campman and Chucky Wk6 not even suited today.
How badly did the Chiefs need this touchdown drive? And again, that ball from Trent Green, Tony had to wait for it. It didn't hit him in stride, but luckily Anderson was so far behind he wasn't able to get back in and get a hand on it. And there's a little reverse dunk by Tony Gonzalez, and that crossbar, by the way, is 10 feet high. So even in football gear, slamming it home for Gonzalez is no problem.
They're working on Joe Johnson. 80 yards on that drive, and that was Gonzalez' 411th reception as a Chief. No mean feat. That's number 2 all time, and he's now only 5 away from Henry Marshall's franchise record.
So the Chiefs started on their 40-yard line with their first possession, went 3 and out. Started on their 40, the second possession, went 3 and out. And that time had to start on their 20, went all the way down and scored.
Took him 6 plays, 80 yards, 2 big catches by Johnny Morton in the process, and then Gonzalez with a 26-yard TD reception. Well, the first quarter, lots of offensive fireworks. We're in the final minute. Well, we have a break. Remind you, on Fridays, CBS, whether it's a drug ring or a bank robbery, the FBI's undercover team will take on an identity to solve crimes from the inside. Emmy winner Joey Pants is the handler. Don't miss an all-new episode this Friday at 10, 9 Central on CBS. They helped the veteran Johnson off the field.
And Dick Johnson's injury was an injury to his triceps. That's what has been bothering him. He's had a bum arm, but this appears to be something with one of his legs, as he's limping noticeably. So we'll get you an update as quickly as we can.
Meanwhile, Morton Anderson ready to try the extra point. The 43-year-old left-footed kicker. He is on his way to the Hall of Fame as well someday if he ever retires 10, 20, 30 years from now. 14-7.
Joan Girardi never knows what God will look like or what he'll ask.
I want you to build a boat.
But CBS Friday.
Last time I asked someone to build a boat, it turned out to be something really big.
Should I plan for a lot of rain?
Joan is about to build something amazing.
I have this incredible talent. Booyah! It's just the wrong talent.
What would be the right talent?
Making things better between people I love.
Don't walk off when we're having a discussion.
Do you see anyone walking here?
See why Joan of Arcadia is the best new series of the season.
Cool.
Joan of Arcadia, CBS Friday.
And welcome back. Final seconds of this opening quarter. Packers 2 impressive drives, and Kansas City, after 2 3 and outs, go 80 yards and get their first touchdown of the season. Monday nights, an all-new late show, and what a show it'll be. I'll be around to see Dave as he welcomes actress Halle Berry, plus 5-time Tour de France champion Lance Armstrong. Now that's what I call a quinella. Berry and Armstrong, and the latest Survivor castaway. Dave's all-new Monday night right here on CBS.
Which one of those two is mandatory viewing for you?
And Antonio Chapman back at the 10.
Yeah. She's on the market now.
Well, she's absolutely beautiful. And Lance Armstrong, if there's an American hero, he gets my vote. short kick to one of the up men, and it's Davenport who fields it. Najee Davenport, and he's all the way to the 36-yard line. And all the way down on the field is Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, many thought if the Chiefs were ripe for an upset, it would be at Lambeau Field against a Packers team that doesn't lose very often at home. But Dick Vermeil said, interestingly enough, this week's practice was probably among the best practices we've had all year. He said going into the Denver game, they kind of lost their luster in practice. They didn't have tempo. They didn't have focus, all of which was completely the opposite this week. He said, kind of look at this game as a simulator. Look at this as a possible playoff game on the road where you have to step it up.
That's exactly right. He had an interesting war cry as well. And as the flag goes down, he said to his team about winning on the road, and they were only 2-6 last year.
False start. Offense number 88. Penalty.
I think Bubba had a flubba there. He had a little false start.
But they're 2-0 on the road this year, and he said to his team, hey, if we're going to take our team on the road, what's wrong with taking our game on the road as well? It's trying to simplify it and think, just play your game. And so far, so good.
Again, though, at Lambeau, that always falls into the category of easier said than done.
First down and 15. Green breaks one tackle and burrows out to the 34. It was interesting as we rode to Lambeau Field today. I said to Dan, what do you think about the game today, Deerdorf? And he said, you know, all the years I've come to Lambeau Field,
I haven't seen a road team win here yet. It's a terrible combination. You're fighting history and you're fighting a very good Packers team. Boy, it's hard to win here.
End of the quarter. The Green Bay Packers lead the Kansas City Chiefs 14-7. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
E-server for music.
E-server for news.
E-server for science.
E-server for stews.
E-server has blades and it's stackable too.
You need more, you get more. It's all up to you.
E-server can work with your software at hand.
E-server will give what you want on demand.
From heifers to hogs, there's no task too tough. They're smart, fast, and scalable, all that good stuff.
They're flexible, bendable, super reliable.
Utterly viable.
Give them a triable.
IBM E-server X Series features the Intel Xeon processor.
Okay, 2 blades are better than 1, and 3 blades are better than 2. And that's as good as it gets, right? Wrong. The new Schick Quattro has the power of 4 blades and 2 conditioning strips, which makes Quattro unlike any other razor. And those 4 blades give you an incredibly close, smooth shave. So your 5 o'clock shadow shows up late. 4 blades. Where will it stop? Here. Schick Quattro, the power of 4.
Introducing Wendy's home-style chicken strips. They're big, tender pieces of juicy whole breast filet with your choice of 3 delicious sauces. When it comes to chicken strips, we have a better way. Wendy's, it's better here.
Why do I rent from Enterprise? Because having the right car or truck makes all the difference. Sweetheart, your honey-do list just got a little bit longer. Sorry.
Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up. Thursday on CSI, key evidence is thrown out of court.
If you can't make your case, Mr. Fife walks. For the next 24 hours, we're breaking rules.
What is going on?
He just wants to know that someone around here gives a damn more.
New CSI Thursday.
Veteran defensive end Joe Johnson back to the Green Bay locker room. We'll give you a report as soon as one is offered. Packers inside their 35-yard line. And the toss to Green. Gets outside and is rocked at the 40-yard line as we go down to B squared.
Well, Dick, Johnson's got a strained right quadricep, as you said. He's in the locker room. He's doubtful to return. Johnson, unfortunately, has kind of had an injury-plagued career. He blew out his knee in camp of '99, missed the entire season. Then last year was only 5 games in with the Packers when he hurt his triceps, and then hurt his other triceps earlier in this season. And now it's the quad, so he just can't seem to get healthy, Dick.
3rd down and 7. Thank you, Bonnie. Shotgun Favre. Toss to Green. And he's caught. Good, breaks out of that pack and gets another 3 yards, but he's still shy of the first down. As Ahman Green, he's much stronger than he would appear, folks, at 6 feet and 217. Very strong thighs.
Unusual look here by the Packers as they go to a 4 wideout formation. They don't do a whole lot of that, but Kansas City did what they had to do defensively. Wouldn't let the Packers out of their own end of the field. Going to end up with some decent field position out of this, and maybe Dante Hall will get a chance to do something.
93-yard touchdown spectacular against Denver last week to win the game. They aim it to the sideline. Hall stays in bounds. 20, 30, he's got a chance, and the kicker tripped him up. Josh Bidwell denied 5 straight games with a return touchdown.
He was gone if it wasn't for Bidwell.
Oh my!
We didn't just give the new Ford F-150 more horsepower. We gave it the most low-end torque. Why did we push farther than anyone else? So you could do more than anyone else. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Wow, somebody's letting go today.
It's okay. I had Subway for lunch.
Subway, delicious low-fat sandwiches, so you can feel good about being good and okay about being bad.
It's okay. I had Subway.
Subway, good, so you don't always have to be.
At CDW, we ship over 100,000 IT products to customers every day. So how can we do it even faster? Just one word, wormholes. I think it could really change things. It could take our shipping system to a whole new level. Now I just need to figure out the whole space-time continuum thing.
For the top brand IT products you need, when you need them, you can always expect more from CDW.
Wednesday, Doug and Carrie are renewing their vows.
Someone has to hand you the wedding ring. It's tradition. I'm having a monkey do that.
The guests are coming.
Don't forget Smitty and Jules.
I don't even know which one's the man and which one's the woman.
The marriage might not make it.
And the only reason I was saying I was in love with you is because you got me drunk and promised me a monkey.
All new King of Queens, CBS Wednesday.
Folks, 6'3", 220-pound Josh Bidwell has just altered history with an open field tackle on Dante Hall when Hall was certain to go for a touchdown if the punter had not made that stop. 30 yards on the return nevertheless, and from the 45, Priest Holmes gets 4 on first down into the arms of Darren Sharper.
First of all, tremendous punt by Bidwell. Watch this. Watch the left foot of Dante Hall. He's only 6 inches in bounds. But right here, Bidwell, and it's really Hall kind of runs into him more. He does it. You can see Bidwell had his feet planted, and Dante Hall came up limping. He went over to the Kansas City sideline, and he appeared to have one of his legs slightly injured. We almost saw 5. Oh, was that close?
4 in a row is an NFL record. No one has ever returned 5 kicks in a season, and that would have been number 5. Over the middle and complete it is. As Johnny Morton continues to work on that Green Bay secondary. Al Harris made the tackle, and good throw by Green under pressure.
And all of a sudden now with Kansas City's offense coming to life, again working against Al Harris. It's Al Harris and Johnny Morton so far, and Johnny Morton having the better of him. But what looked like a 14-0, the route is on. All of a sudden the crowd here at Lambeau realizes the Pack might be in for a football game.
First down at the 32 on the 19-yard gain. Now it's Priest Holmes. And they stack 8, even 9 in the box to stop Holmes. That has worked in the first half for the Packer defense.
You think this guy has been getting it done since the 2001 season? Look where he ranks first in the National Football League. Yards average, touchdowns, and keep in mind he missed the last 2 games last year with a very, very serious hip injury that to this day he says my muscle memory is still not all the way back.
Not firing on all all cylinders, he said, but he's getting closer. They said he was smiling a lot in practice this week. Green steps away from pressure and now throws incomplete. Tony Gonzalez down the middle, but Green couldn't find him. He had to hurry it off as Cledius Hunt was tracking him down.
He found him, Dick. It's just that Trent Green didn't have a chance to step upfield and put anything on the ball. He's fighting for his life right here. The pocket disintegrates. Cledius Hunt throwing, but look at him. He's running sideways, going backwards, and he just can't put enough juice on the ball, and it dies before it gets to Tony Gonzalez, who made one heck of an effort. Got a fingertip on it.
Trent Green 8 for 11 in this half, 119 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Big 3rd and 7. The throw over the middle is complete to Hall, and Hall is down at the 12-yard line as Marcus Anderson saves a touchdown. Hall with his 10th catch of the season. He has also 10 carries for 65 yards.
Yeah, you Green Bay fans are thinking, well, wait a minute, isn't this guy just a kick returner? No, he's also a receiver in the Kansas City offense. And yes, he makes people miss whether he's catching a pass or running back a kick. Look at this guy's balance. Whoop, see ya.
So strong below the waist, and he just not much room to go down. First down at the 12, trying to tie Kansas City. Priest Holmes caught in the backfield, and then the second wave of support at the 10, led by Nick Barnett, the rookie linebacker from Oregon State.
Anytime you get a running back running parallel to the line of scrimmage as a defender, you've got to like it.
Barnett has done a great job, a starter from the opening day for the Packers after they picked him first.
Well, here's going into today. First time ever, 4 undefeated teams. The Vikings have a bye this week. The Colts and the Panthers are playing each other. And the Chiefs have to take a big bite of cheese if they're going to win here at Lambeau.
Second down and 9. Toss to Holmes. Stopped in the backfield. And they get him at the 10. A gain of maybe a half-yard. Hannibal Navies and Marcus Anderson collaborate.
But for the second play in a row, the Green Bay defense has Priest Holmes going parallel to the line of scrimmage. He wants to turn up. He starts, but look at that hit right there.
That was Niall Diggs.
Yeah, Diggs kicks him to the outside, and he just can't get his shoulders squared and get ahead of steam going upfield. That's 2 times in a row the Packers have really closed down the Chiefs running the ball.
Kansas City has 8 touchdowns and 10 red zone opportunities. That's the best in the NFL, but they're looking at 3rd and 8 here.
Watch out for Tony G.
They show blitz. Green Bay, here they come. Quick throw. Complete. And diving is Johnny Morton for a touchdown.
Well, Johnny Morton is lighting Al Harris up. Johnny Morton is just torching Al Harris so far in this football game.
Morton's 3rd touchdown reception of the season.
He catches it at the 6, gives a stiff arm. Al Harris is arguing that he didn't get in. Let's see, this ought to give us a good look at it. Remember the pylons in the end zone. He got it in. That was one heck of a play by Johnny Morton.
10-yard touchdown throw, and now veteran Morton Anderson comes on to tie it up. So as expected, although Green Bay so impressive with their first 2 possessions and Kansas City was not in their first 2, it looked like this might be a Packer romp, but Kansas City shows why they are 5-0. Anderson and the veteran lefty ties it at 14. 9:16 left in the half. Al Harris says no, but the scoreboard and Trent Green say yes.
A truck like this isn't built in a factory. It's built in the farms and fields, concrete streets and construction sites that map the landscape of an entire country. Because when Ford builds the new F-150, there are promises to keep. And only one truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
Right. I'll see you in Dallas.
Going away on business?
Yeah.
Then stay someplace that has everything you need to succeed in any business. I mean, music,
movies, anything.
Whatever business you're in, Courtyard has what you need to be successful.
Are you okay?
I'm good. Jolly good.
At Courtyard, earn double Marriott Rewards points when you pay with Visa through January 31st.
In the late 90s, one man preyed on single women.
He got through those bars, so he's skinny.
And never got caught.
It was like chasing a ghost.
But CBS tonight on the hit drama Cold Case.
6 crimes got an assault.
Our boy is back. A new tip will start the hunt all over again.
I never used to be scared of anything. No, I'm terrified.
He's already stalking someone right now, following her home.
I want Skype.
All new Cold Case, CBS tonight after 60 Minutes.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the next Ford F-150, built Ford tough. CDW, the right technology right away. And by Residence Inn, your Marriott awaits.
10-year veteran Johnny Morton, the older brother of Chad Morton, the kick return artist with the Washington Redskins. 95 yards on 5 catches this first half for Morton. And it's 14-all. Antonio Chapman inside the 5. And the kick goes just into the end zone. Very close to the 40-yard line for the Packers. They will start at the 20. 9:16 left before the intermission. All even at 14.
Looking so long at these pictures of you. I never hold on to your heart. Looking so long for the words to be true. Always just breaking apart like pictures of you.
Welcome to HP Digital Photography. HP, invented.
Now enjoy Guinness anywhere. Drink authentic Guinness draft straight from the bottle.
Applebee's Take 2 is back.
It takes two, baby. It takes two, baby. Make a dream come true.
Choose 2 of your favorite entrees for one mouth-watering plate. Eating good in the neighborhood.
Only one truck has crossbars that are welded through the side rails. That truck is the new Ford F-150. It has the strongest, toughest frame of any full-size pickup, which also gives you the highest payload. Only this truck earned the right to be the next F-150. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
If you were a multimillionaire accused of cooking the books, would you sit down with Mike Wallace? A guy accused of just that does just that. Tonight on 60 Minutes.
Access NFL.com for live scores and stats. And after the games, AOL members get exclusive NFL.com features only on AOL.
Welcome back to the second quarter. 9:16 left before the half. The Packers have the ball at the 20 after Green Bay had jumped out 14-0 as Favre threw to Franks 1 yard, and Amon Green scored on a 5-yard run. Kansas City's answered. Trent Green to Gonzalez and Trent Green to Johnny Morton. Amon Green as the chief tackle the ball, but he hangs on as Gary Stills makes the stop. Thursday on CBS, you'll see why Entertainment Weekly calls the new Survivor so good. This week, one tribe's most valuable player stolen by the other. Now, will Rupert jump ship and help a team in trouble? Don't miss an all-new Survivor Thursday, 8/7 Central on CBS.
Egad. Stolen, you say?
You got to watch to believe. Favre caught in the backfield and down at the 15-yard line. Scott Fujita has his second sack of the season. Fujita from the University of California. He broke into the lineup midseason last year and has become a solid backer.
Give a lot of credit to the Chiefs secondary. Brett Favre, yeah, he's got to move around a little bit, but he's scanning the secondary that whole time, and he can find nobody to throw it to. And Fujita, and like he's emblematic of this Chiefs defense. They are so much faster than they were a year ago. They have dramatically increased their team speed defensively.
Dan, only the 3rd sack, as you can see, of Favre this year. Now he winds up and fires complete out to the 40-yard line to Javon Walker. Oh, didn't take Favre long to make up the deficit.
This thing left a vapor trail as it was headed downfield. What a rocket to Javon Walker. Coming on the post pattern, he had to make just the narrowest of adjustments at the end. Oh, boom, that thing's gone.
And it was just, there were 3 white jerseys perfectly placed. There was about a window of a foot square to throw it through, and of course Favre did. First down at the 41. Into the flat to Driver, who's back in the game, and he's pushed out at the 45. Fans thought that was a little too much push from Kansas City. Eric Warfield at the corner. Most wins in NFL history. John Elway one more than our Dan Marino. Frantic Fran at 125, and Favre, if he wins today, Green Bay wins today, ties one of the game's immortals, Johnny Unitas, 4th place. That's where you really measure the quality. How many wins? Green ducks in and ducks out, but he can't elude a good ankle tackle by the veteran Sean Barber, who came over from Philadelphia this season to the Kansas City Chiefs.
Is that William Henderson that threw that block out in front? Take a look at the fullback countering one way. That's William Henderson in front. Right there, he just plants Jerome Woods, and then he keeps on going. He's going to come back and get another one. But it was a good job by Sean Barber of getting in there and stopping what looked like it was going to be a bigger play than that.
3rd and 6, 4 wide for Favre in the shotgun. Over the middle, complete. Robert Ferguson, and Favre had to throw that just as he was going to be hit, as the Chiefs did have good pressure from Fujita.
Greg Robinson and the Kansas City defense, they take a chance with overloading and coming on a blitz. If you're going to do that, you got to be tight downfield, and the Chiefs weren't. Just sitting right down in the middle of that zone.
Favre has missed on only 1 pass out of 13 attempts. Inside, Green. Make it Najee Davenport, who spells Amon Green, and he picks up a good gain as he slices off right tackle. Here comes Amon Green back and Davenport out.
Pretty good balance here by the Packers offense. Tom Rossley, their offensive coordinator, like all offensive coordinators, takes a lot of heat when things don't go well.
Davenport gets 8 yards on first down. Now Green behind Favre. Favre down the sidelines, and it hits the defender Eric Warfield in the back. Robert Ferguson, the intended receiver.
Brett Favre will throw the football to guys that are covered. He has such confidence. He's going to try to get this thing to Ferguson. It doesn't matter whether he's covered or not. Warfield knows he's got tight coverage on his receiver. He knows there's no way he's going to be able to catch anything.
Hit him right in the KC logo on the helmet. Here's Kevin Berry back in, and that unbalanced line, Dan. Strong to the right on 3rd and 2.
And the same play.
Green, what effort. Fights his way for the first down, close to the 31-yard line.
You're right, Dick. Exactly the same formation and exactly the same play that Green Bay ran for their last touchdown. But boy, did you hear the pop? Sean Barber, the Kansas City linebacker, one of the guys that delivered a biggie. William Henderson's going to provide the lead block, and that's Sean Barber. He makes the great hit. He doesn't wrap up. Amon Green keeps on going. This is a league where hits are nice. Wrapping up is even better.
Najee Davenport back in now for Green Bay, and he gets the call. And a former Miami star down to about the 27-yard line. We're tied at 14. 4 minutes and change remaining in this opening half. Over 1 million people now are playing fantasy sports on CBS Sportsline. Don't you miss out on your chance to get in the game. Check out all of the great fantasy sports games. Why don't you sign up for the leagues that are forming today by clicking on fantasy at cbssportsline.com. 2nd and 6. That's Davenport in motion. And then over the middle to Green. Or is it Tony? Yeah, Tony Fisher. And Fisher has a first down on his first appearance in the game to the 15-yard line. Happy birthday, Tony. Celebrating number 24 today.
Jeez, who could ever imagine a new guy comes into the game and Brett Favre throws him the football? What a shock this is. Again, excellent protection up front, and Brett Favre continuing to spread the wealth. If you're wearing a green jersey and you're an eligible receiver, Brett Favre is going to throw you the football. 8 guys already have caught passes from Brett Favre.
Share the wealth here in Green Bay at Favre's under center. Now the give goes to Amon Green. So they use Green, Fisher, Davenport, and Henderson have all seen the ball, and they're the only 4 eligible running backs in uniform today.
Paul Hornung and Jim Taylor are next. You look around this stadium and you look at all the names. There's Greg Robinson, the Chiefs defensive coordinator. You just can't help. If you love the game of football, if you've never been to Lambeau, try to get here sometime.
All those names in the Hall of Fame. 20 Packers are in Canton.
Only the Bears have more.
On 2nd and 5. Flags down. The throw incomplete.
I don't think the Packers meant to have 2 guys in motion.
Donald Driver was the intended receiver, and McLeon did a good job, but it's all for naught.
Yeah, that's
the legal motion. 2 men moving. Driver and Green.
Yeah, you practice it all week. I know, Mike. Sometimes the guys just have a mental whiff.
Illegal shift. 2 men moving prior to the snap on the offense. Did not reset prior to the snap. That penalty was declined. Makes it 3rd down.
Well, Ron Winter does a good job of explaining it. There goes Henderson. Here comes the receiver. You can both be in motion, but you got to reset. You can have 1 guy in motion who doesn't have to reset. If you got 2 guys, you got to stop for a second before the ball snaps.
Instead of 3rd and 1, 3rd and 6. Fake throw screen to Green, and Green at the 5. Touchdown, Green Bay.
How about that nifty piece of ball handling by Brett Favre? If you ever met a guy that just defines the competitive spirit, it's Brett Favre.
Now when the great fathers back after the First World War decided that this should be a national game, they must have had wonderful foresight. They must have known there was a Brett Favre that would live on into the next century, the next millennium. Favre and the Packers, Amon Green Bay. It's 21-14.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Old Navy Painter's Pants. They'll work for you. And by Applebee's Neighborhood Grill and Bar. Eating good in the neighborhood. Applebee's.
And the rebuilt Lambeau Field, 70,500 here. Rick Robinson trying to spur on that defense. They made a couple of good stops, but that was a long drive. 14 plays, 80 yards for Favre and the Packers. And they kick it off toward Dante Hall. Circles up at the 13, 20, 25, 30. Flags down, and so is Hall at the 33-yard line. William Henderson, the starting fullback, makes the tackle. .209 left in the half, and part of that run.
We're in a return. Holding. Number 52 of the return team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
negated by Quentin Caver's
The
foul.
Green Bay touchdown is going to start with a fine block here by Mike Wall. Flanagan, the center, comes out. Here's Amon Green. It starts with excellent ball handling by Brett Favre. Looking to the right, faking to the right, coming back. There's Wall out front. He gets Sean Barber, doesn't let him in on the play, and then Amon Green supplies the power at the end to get into the end zone. It's hard to run a screen and set it up and run it more effectively than that.
From the 22, Green steps up and throws long for Morton, and the ball thrown out of bounds just before the 2-minute timeout. Chiefs are saying that Green Bay was offside, but no penalty. Reminder coming up in the Nextel halftime report. Jim and Dan and Dion and Boomer have all of today's early highlights and scores. That's all coming up on the Nextel halftime report on our CBS doubleheader day.
There was a lot of movement there. Looked like the Packers were. It did look like they were offsides on that play, but no flag.
Both quarterbacks having a hot hand today. Now it's the screen to Priest Holmes, and Holmes toward the sidelines and across the 30-yard line, brought down at the 31, one short of a first down. Barnett and Sharper made the tackle. 1:56 left before halftime.
Adults with high cholesterol, diet and exercise aren't always enough. But adding Lipitor can help lower your total cholesterol 29 to 45%. Lipitor is not for everyone, including people with liver problems and women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. Tell your doctor about other medications you are taking, or if you experience muscle pain or weakness, as they may be a sign of a serious side effect. So take the next step. Ask your doctor if Lipitor is right for you.
You want the job?
I want the job.
90K.
180.
100.
170.
110.
160.
120.
150.
120.
140.
120.
Bonus? No bonus.
Done.
Daisy Lowenthal has written dozens of thrilling crime novels. But tonight, she's about to live one.
Get out.
State police.
A half-crazed kid broke into my house and you let him go.
A world premiere movie.
You don't seem like a cop.
Candice Bergen. Footsteps. CBS tonight.
And welcome back to Green Bay. No surprise that both these teams can move the ball, and we have a 21-14 game.
A real defensive struggle. Green Bay's got 250 yards of offense. Kansas City's got like 170-some. Neither team showing much ability to stop the other so far.
3rd and 2 from the 30. Green throws on 3rd down and gets it to Eddie Kennison for a first down as Kennison makes his first catch of the game. Mike McKenzie on the corner with a tackle. 2 timeouts left for the Chiefs as they hurry out of the huddle. 1:40 left in the half. Green over the middle, complete to Hall, and Hall has his second reception. Another first down at the 47. And the hurry up for Kansas City. No huddle. To Hall, and Hall gets out of bounds and is assisted by Nick Barnett. He shows you why they like him. Can he run at 240?
An assist in basketball is a good thing. In hockey, it's a good thing. I don't think the assist here was all that beneficial to Dante Hall.
He was headed that way, but he got a little extra support.
Yeah, that's really not a supportive assist by Nick Barnett.
Barnett is from Southern California, decathlete in high school, explaining his speed. He was a 190-pound freshman safety when he went to Oregon State. Only 2 yards on that completion. Priest Holmes on the draw, but he can't get outside. Barnett again down low to make the tackle. Holmes just didn't get to full speed. 3rd down and about a long 2.
Trying to get into Morton Anderson field goal range of the Chiefs.
The throw incomplete, but the intended receiver Hall was on his face, falling as the ball was thrown. Now the decision by Dick Vermeil, and 4th and 3, a short 3.
Dante Hall there in the slot, and he just gets shoved, as you are allowed to have happen inside that 5-yard zone. He just Baoju put a pretty good shove on Dante Hall, and it just knocked him to the ground. Perfectly legal and a good play by the Packer defensive back.
Vermeil says we're in Green Bay. No thoughts here apparently of saying, you know, we miss a 4th and 3 and give Green Bay middle of the field position. Let's punt it away. Antonio Chapman calls for the fair catch, lets it go, and Mark Richter is there to gather it up at about the 2-yard line. And don't go away at halftime. Nextel halftime report coming with Jim, Dan, Dion, and Boomer for today's early scores and highlights, all coming up on the Nextel halftime report. So 44 seconds for Favre and Green Bay. If Brett had his way, he'd go for it, but probably not wise. We'll see.
That's a long way to go and a short time to do it.
They've got 3 timeouts left.
I know that Brett really likes to gamble. I can't imagine him filling the air with footballs here. You've got a lead.
Amon Green appears to be the call, and he gets the handoff. And is tackled as he reaches the 4-yard line. Green making sure that he has both hands on the football. Eric Warfield from the corner make the tackle. And Packers do use one of their 3 timeouts. Oh, it's Kansas City that calls their 2nd timeout.
Welcome to McNabb 101, the fundamentals of football. Football can teach you a lot of interesting things, like how to perform under pressure, how to express yourself.
There's a lot of Mississippi balls over there, a lot of more.
Most importantly, football teaches you how to have fun.
Buccaneers winning San Diego.
So what are we waiting on? Let's go play some football. Let's go. Let's go make it happen now.
Welcome back. 2nd down 8. Green Bay already out of the huddle. Ball just inside the 5. Amon Green. And he's smothered after a pickup of another 3.
Kansas City can't get the ball back. They take another timeout, but if Green Bay just runs the football here on 3rd down, the clock's going to run out before they have to punt.
Well, Dick Vermeil was hoping perhaps that maybe a solid tackle would force a fumble.
I think Dick's looking at that scoreboard trying to figure it out. Dick, I don't think you're going to get a chance to touch the ball.
Tonight on CBS, Catherine Morris is the star in TV's most watched new drama. Don't miss Cold Case tonight right after 60 Minutes here on CBS. Got that Sunday in Lambeau Field look, Catherine. Yeah.
Could it possibly be any nicer?
And we look from our 17-0 record for Sherman at home when his Packers lead at half, and they're going to lead going into the locker room here today. And you look out over the rim of the stadium and all the beautiful earth colors of fall. And this is those days why you love to live in the Midwest. October, the month, is the reason why we stayed in Michigan and Wisconsin right next door. Well, that's it. And a very entertaining first half that almost featured Dante Hall going for a return touchdown. The kicker, Bidwell, denying that on a midfield open field tackle. Bonnie?
All right, Dick Vermeil, your offense off to a bit of a sluggish start. How were they able to get in the rhythm in the subsequent drives? Well, you know, Al Saunders went to some of the other packages we have in a game plan. He did a good job, but right now we're having a little trouble getting them off the field on third down. And if actually scoring too fast when we take those 2 scoring drives, we've got to get our running game going a little bit better and eat up some clock time, because these guys are hard to stop when Favre is that hot.
He's got so many weapons. How do you try to slow him down and contain him from getting the ball to all those weapons?
You know, pressure doesn't hurt, you know, and we've only gotten pressure on him a couple times, but they've done a real nice job with their game plan, and hopefully we can make some adjustments, especially on third down.
Coach, thank you.
All right, thank you, Bonnie. And that's the end of the first half here at Lambeau. The score of the Packers 21, the Chiefs 14. We'll be back with the Nextel halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS.
Monday, 2 married guys take a test to prove who's sexier.
When it comes to actually picking up women, I'm always going to do better than you.
Okay, you keep telling her. Who will win the battle of the hunks?
Greg happens to be very appealing to women.
Stop laughing! Catch an all-new Yes Dear, CBS Monday. Wednesday.
I think it's love.
Shut up.
Doug and Carrie are renewing their vows.
Someone has to hand you the wedding ring. It's tradition.
I'm having a monkey do that.
All new King of Queens, CBS Wednesday.
It's the most outrageous food challenge yet. All new Survivor, CBS Thursday.
Put in beautiful new hardwood floors from Menards and don't pay till spring. Chatham Solid Oak Flooring by Columbia is pre-finished and ready to install. On sale in 3 attractive colors, just $364 a square foot. Add the finishing touch with ready-to-finish decorative wood molding by House of Fira. It's simple to install because there's no need to cut miters. All on sale at 15% off. Add style with savings from Menards.
Save big money at Menards.
Small business owners don't have an off switch. Ideas don't stop coming at 5 o'clock. And breakthroughs often happen on weekends. Now you can get a long-distance rate that's on whenever you are. Introducing SBC Long Distance for Business. Just 3.6 cents a minute with a 1-year term, anytime, anywhere in the U.S. Guaranteed. Seeing small business differently. SBC.
Thank you for coming today. Let's get started, shall we? The agenda is A through D. F. There's eating month-to-month sales, up, down, opportunities, yada, yada, blah, 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 side, graph, bar, graph, side, going forward, next steps, summary, conclusions, A, B, C, D. Any questions? Good, thanks so much for coming. I gotta go, bye.
Do whatever it takes to get here. It's all-you-can-eat steak at Old Country Buffet. Top sirloin, butter steak with tasty sides, and all your other buffet favorites. Come in now for all-you-can-eat steak every night of the week for a limited time at Old Country Buffet.
Win great prizes. Play Pigskin Picks at WWMT.com.
Hi, Jim Nance in New York. Coming up, the Nextel halftime report. All the scores and highlights of Week 6 action as Dan, Dion, and Boomer join me in just a moment on CBS.
CBS Tuesday, an online game becomes deadly. Now NCIS is on the case. Mark Harmon.
We want the crew of this ship to die.
An all-new Navy NCIS. Then, attorney Nick Fallon has worked every kind of case.
We want to sue.
But none this bizarre.
That clinic fertilized my wife's egg with the wrong sperm. The child is half African-American.
With a twist.
We no longer have a claim against the clinic. Why?
You won't believe.
Do you think we could just keep this between us?
The Guardian after Navy NCIS. CBS Tuesday.
Is this line even moving?
No.
Put your cheese on, man. Is that hypoallergenic?
Yep.
Hey, Coach, anything?
Nothing.
Come on through.
Through the NFL and the United Way, Will Shields of the Kansas City Chiefs volunteers at a kids camp.
I teach them physical dexterity, motor skills.
We play tag.
Will Shields knows what matters.
Practice social skills, group interaction.
He's good at seeking, but he stinks at hiding.
I love kids.
You don't have to be Will Shields to make a difference in your community.
Look, there he is. Over here. We always catch him.
Earlier on the NFL Today.
Unanswered points. Anybody that says, hey, I knew it all along, is flat telling you a lie.
Regardless of if I should be starting or not, we should be running the football.
Why do you get excited about Pittsburgh? They do the same thing every year. Get to the end and lose.
I'm no more than just taking a route to work. A nice little joyous skip I have.
I'm having as much fun right now as the year when we won the Super Bowl.
The NFL Today, Sundays at noon on CBS.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report, sponsored by Nextel, nationwide walkie-talkie.
All right, it's a 21-14 Packer lead at halftime. Jim Nance from the NFL Today studios here in New York. Nextel Halftime Report. Dan Dion and Boomer are here. We've been watching this game real close.
Wow.
Johnny Morton, some big catches for the Chiefs to get him back into it, but how about Favre and the Packers, especially the way they started here, Boomer?
I'll tell you, Jim, this is the game of the day thus far, and Brett Favre is having fun. He told us that in the pregame. He finds Bubba Franks in the back of the end zone, and then Amon Green. Now, this is the key to the Green Bay Packers. If he can put forth the effort he has the last few weeks, takes a lot of pressure off of Brett Favre. And then Trent Green, if you're a Kansas City Chief fan, you have to be happy to see this. Their passing game is starting to awaken a little bit. And right here, Johnny Morton making a nice move on Mike McKenzie. Trent Green hasn't had great numbers through this winning streak that they've started through, but he is starting to show some of that explosiveness. And right here, Amon Green, right at the end of the first half, a little screen pass. Danny, I know you had a lot of touchdown passes like that. You like those little easy
screen passes. I mean, how do you score on a screen from the 10-yard line?
Take a look at some of these numbers, though. How about these quarterbacks? 14 of 17 for Favre, 14 of 19, 173 yards for Green. Both have 2 touchdowns. Neither has a turnover. Where is the improvement on defense, Kansas City?
Meanwhile, the Raiders lead about to begin the third quarter at Cleveland. What's the story here, Dion?
William Green almost 50 yards rushing, but Charles Woodson been making plays, made some last week against Chicago, just made a play recovered by Anthony Dorsett. I'll tell you what, Rich Gannon, you have no running game. Garner only 30 yards, finds Johnson right here in the end zone. Rice and Brown, without a catch in the first half, but Phil Dawson nails a 52-yard field goal, tying a career long.
Hey, the Raiders have not hit a receiver in this game. 2 catches by Teo Johnson, the rookie you saw. We count him as a tight end, former basketballer at Stanford. 1 by Doug Jolly, 4 catches by Garner. Gannon 7 of 8, but only 42 yards. And the lead, though, they start the third quarter. Here, the battle of the unbeatens and the Colts lead. They got a touchdown run by James Monroe. As Manning, 11 out of 16. He's hit Harrison so far. Total of 4 catches, 59 yards in the first half for Harrison. And the Texans and the Titans, the story here, what a start by McNair and Mason.
McNair 11 for 12. Who else he's going to throw to? Derek Mason, 32 yards for the touch. I don't even know why they go for the play-action fake. Eddie Georgia is not going to run it, so he throws it again to Mason. How does this guy continue to get open?
On fire.
But Calico has 4 receptions for 92 yards, but right here, McNair fumbles right here, recovered by Charlie Clemens. And Titans linebacker Ricky Bowman, who had a big play last week for a couple weeks ago for a touchdown, his second career interception. The guy got skills, man. If he'd have kept his Boyman. What's his name? Robert Holcomb right here. Eddie George, take notes. Watch this. You need to make this play. You see that kind of intensity? That's what we need out of Eddie George. The Titans up 21-3, but McNair almost perfect. Check out these
Look at these. We're talking MVP numbers. This is a poor guy that got slighted last year for the Pro Bowl. I hate it. To see what his reaction is going to be when he finds out later today. You said Dante Hall's the MVP of the league, not McNair. Man, what a letdown that's going to be. Here's the block of the year in the
Ricky
NFL.
Williams, what's his run? First of all, he cuts back, 1 missed tackle. He comes up. Now he picks up who? Jay Fiedler with a great block.
You would have never
Ricky
done that,
Williams
man.
in the end zone. I'd definitely, for a touchdown, I'd throw a block like that. You know that. I'm going to block you right now.
How about Leftwich?
There's Leftwich. Ball gets tipped, picked off. Defense is real good. They've only given up 3 touchdowns all year. Once again, here they stop Fred Taylor, who's trying to get in. Give up only 3 points in the first half. The Dolphins are rolling. You'd like to see them score a little more because Jay hasn't had that many yards passing as far as Jay Fiedler today.
How about the defense, though, on Taylor? 12 carries, 26 yards. That's it. Williams on a 100-yard pace. Giants and the Patriots. This is bizarre. New England has 1 first down in the first half.
Wow.
30 total yards. But they lead 7-3 as Tiki fumbled and it was run back for a touchdown by Chatham.
Tom Brady has 1 pass completion.
Eagles and the Cowboys, how about this? Open kick, the Eagles onside kick it, recovered by the Cowboys, and they run it in on the onside kick to start the game for a touchdown. They've just added a Kunda field goal to lead 10-7. And there are the Bucks trailing at halftime. Redskins got in late in the first half. Final minute, Ramsey with the touchdown toss.
Bucks better pick it up.
No kidding. Pittman's doing nothing here today after 2 sensational efforts. Saints got a field goal by Carney on the last play of the half to lead over Chicago. As McAllister has good numbers, and Thomas going for a third straight 100-yard rushing performance for the Bears. He's on track again today. Doubleheader day, though, here on CBS. Pittsburgh, Denver coming up for most of you. Others will see Buffalo and the Jets or Baltimore, Arizona. We're going to send you back to Lambeau Field for the second half. Thanks for being with us on the Nextel Halftime Report.
CBS Sports presents the Nextel Halftime Report. Sponsored by Nextel, nationwide walkie-talkie.
Both teams back on the field, ready for the second half here in Green Bay, with the Packers trying to end Kansas City's unbeaten year. After 5 straight wins, they have a touchdown lead, and very entertaining half.
Well, both of these offenses living up to their billing. We knew going into the game that neither one of these teams had a truly dominating defense, although Kansas City was, certainly hoping to show some improvement from the last-ranked defense that they had last year. But when you look at the halftime numbers, you're going to see the Packers already with over 250 yards of total offense. And really, when you look at it, the Chiefs have only rushed the ball, Dick, for 23 yards. That has to be a very, very disappointing. And that's why they're, 7 minutes behind on the time of possession. And so those are trends they've got to change.
And the most important stat, the bratwurst stat, the brat. And let's see. And you kicked the extra point. Was there sauerkraut and mustard and onions to get the extra point on me?
If you come to Lambeau Field and you don't eat some bratwurst, there is really, don't come. Stay home. Get the ticket to somebody who can really put it to good use.
I had one Pacific Coast time, 8 a.m.
He did. This is Dick Enberg, who lives in La Jolla, California, who ate a bratwurst at 10 a.m. Central Time.
And it was actually digestible.
8 o'clock Pacific. I'm telling you, Dick.
Here we go. Second half, and Green Bay gets it first. Antonio Chapman up to the 10, bobbles. 15 has it. Sometimes these turn into long runs. This one won't. And he's down at the 24-yard line. Derek Blaylock made the tackle. Look at the top numbers in this first half, and Favre nearly perfect, 14 for 17. Ahman Green, a touchdown, gives him 8 for the season to lead the league. And 4 catches. He's also the top receiver. He came in with 18 on the season. How about Kansas City? Well, we'll check them later. Touchdown, and then Kansas City with a stop. And then a long 80-yard drive engineered by Favre to get that screen pass score just before the half. 34 years old on Friday, Brett Favre. Winds up and fires complete across the 30 to Antonio Freeman, the veteran from Virginia Tech. Bonnie?
Well, Dick, the Packers aren't second in the league on third down conversions for nothing. Mike Sherman said that's a huge factor in the success of his offense. And he said, I'm proud of my receivers, not just because of their receiving, but they've thrown some of those big blocks on those third downs. Defensively, he said we have to do a better job containing Priest Holmes when we bring the pressure. Special teams, he said, yeah, those first 2 kicks were out of bounds, but the second one just took a bad bounce. Overall, he thinks his kickers are doing a good job.
All right, Bonnie, that third down conversion rate, 47% coming in. Ahman Green kicks out of that first hit and staggers to a first down across the 40-yard line. He doesn't go down often on that first contact, and if he is hit, he falls forward 5.
Yeah, this is the second time we've seen Ahman Green. He's got so much body lean. Of course, he's fighting off the tackle, but the legs keep driving. He gets him out beyond the 40. This guy, remember his reputation when he first came in the league? Mike Holmgren upset with him. He was putting the ball on the ground. Fumbling was a real issue. He ends up trading him here to Green Bay back in 2000. And, well, he's a different guy now.
Quick toss is complete to Tony Fisher, who was lined up out on the left wing, and a flag I thought I saw go in there. Perhaps not. It could have been just one of those yellow pom-poms that the Packer fans bring with them.
Favre made the tackle. Second and 4 on a 47.
Packers and Chiefs like to throw to them, don't they?
Yeah, well, they sure do. That's in the National Football League. Those are the 2 leading teams. Green Bay out front, Kansas City second, about 9 or 10 points above the NFL average as far as how much the running back plays in the passing game.
Second and 4, quickly outside the driver. Hit hard, but he's close to another Green Bay first down.
Where do they
Greg
spot
Wesley.
this? Looks like he's got it, Dick.
Scott Fujita in a hurry on Brett Favre. You see the distribution.
It's amazing that Green Bay, they just love to have everybody have it. And yes, the running backs play a big part in it. But today, Brett Favre he's letting everybody come into the schoolyard and have a whack at it.
First down at the Kansas City 48. Green, 45-40, and Russell down. But another good gain on first down, about 8 before John Browning, the defensive tackle trailing the play, could get on his back.
How's that for good hustle by a defensive tackle?
And here comes that Kevin Berry. They're going to go strong right again.
John Browning, the best defensive lineman for the Kansas City Chiefs, a defensive tackle. You don't see many of them come flying out of the middle of the field like that to make a tackle outside the numbers like that.
Second down and a short 2. Strong right formation. Toss to Green. Gets the block. Breaks a tackle. 30 and all the way inside the 25. Amon Green. William Henderson, another lead block. And to put Green's success in Green Bay historical perspective, you know, he's talking about running like Jim Taylor.
Well, look at these Green Bay linemen get out in front of the play again. Number 62, Marco Rivera comes right around the corner. They get the good lead block, and then it's all Amon Green. But right now, the Kansas City defense, keep in mind, this was a defensive football team that was very last in the NFL last year. Yes, they've made some adjustments, but they know that they've got to get better, and right now their confidence can't be very high in their ability to stop Green Bay.
Injury apparently or not? Yes, on the far side.
And that doesn't help.
Sean Barber, the starting linebacker for Kansas City, being assisted.
Sean, one of their very best free agent pickups this year, as they signed him away from Philadelphia. That's him right in the middle of our screen. He goes in to make the play on Amon Green. Looks like he hits his head right on Green's hip. And Amon Green just shook that off, and if it wasn't for Greg Wesley, he'd have high-stepped it right on into the end zone.
And we'll take a timeout. 11:44 left in the third period.
Mount Everest Base Camp, 17,000 feet. Whose idea was this? Fortunately, with a laptop powered by Centrino, Intel's mobile technology, you can see a friendly face wirelessly from thousands of places, even if you can't feel your fingers. Intel Centrino mobile technology.
Hey, Ricky, Bill from down the block. Saw your dog got out. Anyway, I chased him about a block down. Took a header into a thorn bush. You know what? I'm scratched up, but okay. Don't worry about me. The dog is what's important.
I don't have a dog.
If you really want tickets to the game, just use your Visa. It's the card you know they'll take everywhere you want to be. Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL.
Do you have the right truck?
Hi, black coffee to go.
Does your truck have better resale value than Ford and Dodge? A Silverado half-ton pickup does.
Hey, guys, what's up? Hey, is this your truck? What's it going for? What do you mean, what's it going for? Let me make you an offer. It's not for sale. What are you doing here? It's for sale. It's not for sale?
Silverado, it's the right truck from Chevy.
If you were a multimillionaire accused of cooking the books, would you sit down with Mike Wallace? A guy accused of just that does just that. Tonight on 60 Minutes.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
One of the unrestricted free agent pickups by Kansas City, Sean Barber, a solid veteran linebacker. Took that elbow or hip in the helmet, being attended to.
He's their leading tackler. Not just this game, but on the season so far.
So far, first down, hits Driver, juggles, and pulls it in. Here's a guy, Driver, that the Elkhorn State. Back in his senior year, all he did was high jump. Now get this, high jump 7.6 and a half, and long jump 25.5. He was Olympic caliber track star in college and almost made the 2000 Olympic team. And those guys don't often become great receivers just because they can run and jump.
No, there's been a long line of those guys that have tried it and said, wait a minute, they don't hit back and track.
Driver has succeeded. And so has this man. It's Najee Davenport. Davenport spelling green, and he all but walked in for the touchdown.
This Green Bay offensive line, they are having some afternoon here at Lambeau Field. Again, look at the movement. Marco Rivera this time pulls to the left, seals to the inside. Chad Clifton at left tackle had a great block. Mike Wall at left guard. They are just chewing up the Kansas City defensive line.
Davenport's first touchdown of the season. Longwell adds the extra point. 76 yards in 8 plays. They open each half with a long touchdown drive. And it's the Packers 28-14.
We got a situation here. What's your 20?
I'm there. Do you have the right truck? Does your truck have a big block Vortec V8 and an Allison transmission? Does it have the most torque of any gas-powered heavy-duty pickup? Silverado. It's the right truck from Chevy. The most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Just stop. Give that old friend a rest. Let's go to Staples.
Shopping for office products at Staples is so easy there's no need to put it off. We've got everything you need online catalog or in store. Staples, that was easy.
Move back. Give me the bag. You got to hit the bag harder, son. Get back up and get in line. You can't come at the dummy like that. You gotta act like you want to hit the dummy, son. And everybody else in line, you gotta act like you want to hit the dummy. Get back up. Now hit the bag. Good job. There you go. That's the way you hit the bag.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Staples. That was easy. Viagra. Ask your doctor if Viagra is right for you. And by Chevy Silverado. It's the right truck.
Beautiful countryside, the state of Wisconsin. 28-14. Najee Davenport, 18 yards on that touchdown run for his first score of this season. The 245-pounder former Miami Hurricane. Dante Hall. And we'll see if he gets a chance this time. Yes, it's down the middle. Looking into the sun at the 3. Starts right, goes left. Can't get away. Tackled by Henderson. Again, the starting fullback with a big special teams hit.
Well, you can see Dante Hall going to be very patient, trying to set it up, makes his decision at the last second. I'm going to try to break contain on the left side, but William Henderson coming in at full speed makes the ankle tackle. And that was just outstanding coverage by the Green Bay Packers. They didn't get Dante Hall a decent alley anywhere.
Well, Kansas City, they fell behind 14-0. Then they scored 14. Now Green Bay 14 unanswered. Trent Green into the flat. That won't work as Tony Richardson belted by second-year safety from UCLA, Marcus Anderson.
A good job by the Packers on that last touch. Remember how we've seen them with this overload formation? They've got 5. Well, what do? They're going to come back to the weak side and catch Kansas City unawares. Show an overload. Looks like it's going to be power football to the right. And then, wow, look at that in the middle. When Davenport makes his cut back upfield, there's nobody in red and white.
28 points, the most Kansas City has allowed this season. 10 minutes left in the third. Green underneath, complete. Dante Hall twisted down by Michael Hawthorne, fourth-year defender from Purdue.
Well, Kansas City in the first half has really had their passing game lead the way. Trent Green only 5 incompletions, no turnovers. Priest Holmes has only run the ball for 23 yards. Packers have to be happy with that. And it was Johnny Morton primarily working against Al Harris, who just had an outstanding first half. And you'd think Kansas City would want to go back to Johnny Morton. Lots of punts.
3rd and 2. Green underneath, incomplete. Tony Gonzalez normally catches anything in his area, could not grab that one. Hawthorne covering.
Michael Hawthorne has good coverage, but Trent Green throws a pretty good football here right onto the hands of Tony Gonzalez, and it goes right through. You don't see that very often. That should have been a Kansas City first down.
So just as Green Bay started the game and the second half with a touchdown drive, Kansas City starts 3 and out on both occasions. Short kick and the lateral bounce at midfield at the 49. Good position for the Packers. Only 28 yards for Jason Baker. Timeout at Lambeau. We said 20 Hall of Famers have worn the green and gold of the Green Bay Packers. Don Hudson, the first truly superstar receiver in the game. Cecil Isbell was his receiver, and Bart Starr had so many. Ray Nitschke, Mr. Defensive Packer.
When Don Hudson was playing, the word superstar hadn't even been invented.
That's true, but he was.
Yes, he was.
Amon Green trapped for a change in the backfield and absorbs a 4-yard loss. We were mentioning about of course, the great, you can't walk in here and not feel history of football in Green Bay. To put this man in the proper perspective historically, he came in rushing for over 500 yards in 5 games. Now he's over 600. That was the first time since Jim Taylor in 1961 that a Packer runner has run for over 500 in the first 5 games.
This is a monster defensive series for Kansas City. The game may get completely out of control if they don't stiffen here.
Sean Barber is back in. The throw is in the flat, complete to Wesley Walls, the veteran tight end. And talking about Hall of Fame, and of course Dan Dierdorf, our partner, is privileged to be in that elite company. Lombardi and the Golden Boy Paul Hornung, Bart Starr, one of the great gentlemen of the game. Another great gentleman of the game. Whoa!
I just get shivers every time I look at Ray Nitschke.
When I come here, I can't remember. When I was in college, Nitschke was at practice, and one of the scouting towers fell, hit him on the head. He was in full uniform. He walked away as if nothing had happened. Anyone else would have probably been long gone. What a tough guy.
What a passion he had for the game of football.
3rd and 7. Favre down the middle. What a catch! Leaping high again was Walls.
Oh, and Brett Favre is down. He got hammered by Greg Wesley. Greg Wesley, there are one too many guys in the middle. You can't account for him, and he hits Brett Favre right in the ribs. Brett standing there until the last minute, doesn't get a chance to get his arm down to protect his midsection, and took a vicious shot right into his right rib cage.
Yeah, his helmet right into that rib area. They do have a little padding, but not much, as you can see. But Favre grimaces, comes back to work.
I'm sorry, that'll leave a mark.
Favre is 21 for 24 with that last completion. And he throws again, incomplete. This time intended for Bubba Franks, and Meslowski, the middle backer, got just enough of a hand in there to deny.
What kind of calluses do you think these Green Bay receivers get on their hands from catching Brett Favre's passes in practice and during games? I know a lot of the guys wear gloves. Sometimes I wonder if that's not in self-defense.
Yeah, Donald Driver, the young receiver said, hey, he doesn't throw hard anymore. He says, we still get broken fingers. 2nd and 10. Favre hands off. Amon Green, and he couldn't quite rip his way out of that ankle tackle from Sean Barber. Good to see the veteran back in there.
He sprained his neck. That was the quick diagnosis, and like a lot of guys in this league. He realizes the importance of this game. You got an undefeated thing going at 5-0. Let me get back out there and play. If it's not something that I can damage further by playing, well then why not get back out there?
Tony Fisher comes in as the running back. What a find as an undrafted runner he was out of Notre Dame a year ago. 47% third down conversion, second best. They're 6 of 9 today. Favre plants, throws, incomplete. Off the field of play. Javon Walker was the target.
Well, Greg Robinson and the Kansas City defense forced the issue. Again, coming with the blitz up the middle, forcing the Packers to make an adjustment and throw the ball quickly. Greg Robinson will take a chance. One of the most gambling defensive coordinators in the National Football League.
Ryan Longwell in. His longest this year is 46 yards. And
take a look at that. You can see, look at the colors and then the percentages in front of him. He's in the 74% area of the field.
50-yard attempt. It is good. Just enough to cross the bar. His longest of the season. And the Packers add 3 more. It's 31-14.
That'll make up for an out-of-bounds kickoff.
I received this wedding gift from my husband's aunt, but I don't need a monkey lamp. I was extremely torn. I didn't know whether I should just keep the lamp or return it and risk hurting her feelings. So I asked myself, what would Jared do?
I would return the lamp. She really just wants you to be happy. Then I'd get a red wine vinaigrette club.
So, where's the lamp?
The Red Wine Vinaigrette Club from Subway. Eat fresh.
E-server.
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 E-server. These are not normal servers.
They're better than that. They adjust and predict.
So you'll never say rats.
For systems like Linux and other types, too.
They love open standards. No kidding, it's true.
For big firms and small firms.
And those in the middle.
E-server's the answer to your business riddle.
They're flexible, bendable,
super reliable,
utterly viable.
Give them a tryable.
IBM eServer X Series features the Intel Xeon processor.
A 14-year-old was snatched from her bed.
We stood there looking at her. What do we have here?
Who took her sister?
She said a monster. Did you find the girl?
You better get over here.
We need to look in this canal.
Get her ratio, okay?
I'd put money this up, girl. Tell him to call off the search teams.
On the contrary, we're just getting started.
All new CSI Miami, CBS Monday.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Subway. Good, so you don't always have to be. Subway, eat fresh. And by IBM, official information technology partner of the NFL.
That is the Green Bay players' locker room, and pictures don't do it justice. This is a chateau. This is the most incredible locker room facility in terms of spaciousness in the world. Dante Hall won't take a chance as Longwell, pumped with adrenaline after that 50-yard field goal, hammers one for a touchback. Tuesday on CBS, for two sailors, an online war game becomes real when one turns up dead. For the crime investigators, it's only the beginning. Mark Harmon stars in an all-new Navy NCIS, Tuesday at 8, 7 Central on CBS.
Well, a lot of pressure now on Kansas City offensively. Their defense is not showing any ability to stop Green Bay, and now you find yourself down by this margin. Got to take some chances.
Green steps away, and it's incomplete. No flag as Darren Sharper covering the tight end Gonzalez.
And covering him well, but it still was a good throw, it looked like, by Trent Green. Looked like he initially looked like he got it to a place where maybe it could have been caught. How about Trent Green just instinctively stepping up there? Baja Biamila almost had a hand on that football, knocking it out.
Gonzalez shifts to the right side. Give it to Priest Holmes. He makes the corner this time, and he's out to the 29-yard line. And look at that Barnett run. Wow, he picked a great angle and caught Holmes shy of the first down.
This kid is something special. From the minute they drafted him, the Green Bay Packers made him their middle linebacker. This kid can fly. He's going to come in from the right. There he is right there. Take a look at this kid run. Whoa. It's nice to be young, but it's even better to be a special athlete, and not many guys at the middle linebacker position can run like that. That's Urlacher type running.
His nickname is Beats, and he certainly plays to a very fast one. Third down, make it 2. Dante Hall on the reverse. No way, says Marcus Anderson. Here's a young guy playing for Antoine Edwards at safety because of Edwards' ankle injury, and he's all over the field as well.
Kansas City doing whatever they can to try to get the football into the hands of Dante Hall, but this just doesn't surprise the Packers at all. Marcus Anderson keeps contained on his side of the field, and the play just comes right to him.
Antonio Chapman back. Jason Baker's kick high, fair catch. Chapman at the 35. 40-yard punt, no return. 4:27 to go, and currently Green Bay in command.
Hey, Preston, you want to say hi to Daddy? Yeah. Come on up. Hi, Daddy.
Hiya.
Do it again.
Hiya.
Do it again.
Hiya.
Do it again. All right.
Hiya.
Do it again.
Do it again. Hiya. Do it again. Hiya.
AOL Animated Super Buddies. Life needs children of all ages.
At TGI Fridays, every bite is twice as good. Because our double glazed ribs feature 2 bold flavors. First, they're basted with our rich, smoky Tennessee glaze. And then finished with Friday's tangy barbecue sauce. Tear into Friday's tender double glazed ribs. Glazed twice for a one-of-a-kind taste. Double glazed ribs, only at Fridays.
You know what you never see in car commercials? Real cars. Cars that have been around the block a few times. The kinds of cars that need Castrol GTX high mileage. Specially engineered to protect against oil burn-off better than other leading motor oils. Castrol GTX high mileage. It helps older cars feel young again.
Thursday, a Without a Trace episode every parent must see.
Why would anyone want to take my daughter? Why?
A child prodigy disappears before a concert.
Looks like she was grabbed here.
There's hope of finding her, but the clock is ticking. I don't have time to screw around anymore.
Where the hell is she?
All new Without a Trace, Thursday after CSI.
Well, along with adding seats here to Lambeau Field, a big museum, interactive games. It's open 365 days a year. The center that's on the eastern side of the stadium. They had 3 weddings there last night. This is an older kid, but of all ages, you can come and play the football games. And of course, there's the Hall of Fame. Rushing yards 144 on the season, but only 31 today. As there's the first drop, Bubba Franks. And as Mike Sherman told us yesterday, one of the things he's really been happy about, they've had only 2 drops all season. There's the third.
Again, what they've been doing all year long, getting Brett Favre on the move, out of the pocket, running to his left. He throws the ball so well for a right-handed quarterback. Can't deliver it a whole lot better than that to his tight end. Brett Favre, he just looks like he was born to be on the move like that, running parallel to the line of scrimmage, surveying the field.
Here comes Hamon Green, gets a block on the corner, and he had some daylight, but a solid low tackle from Sean Barber to stop him. B squared, what do you have for us?
Well, Dick, it seems like the Packers have really made a point this week to say, hey, this supposed meeting between Brett Favre and Tom Rosley after the Cardinals loss just didn't happen. Mike Sherman said, you know what, after every single game, we go over it and we say, this worked well. We should have done more of this. Brett Favre just isn't the type of quarterback who wants anything to do with play calling. He just wants to go in, do his work, and win.
That's right, Bonnie. Favre's words, you call a play and I'll make it work. 3rd and 10. Pump fake, that's the okie dokie, and then he runs to the right and is dragged down from behind by Scott Fujita. Favre doesn't have the legs he once enjoyed in sprinting away, and that's one of the reasons why they're buying him some time.
Well, even when he was young, Dick, I'm not sure he could have gotten away from Fujita. Fujita's got outstanding speed. I mean, keep in mind, Fujita is a guy that's 6'5", 250 pounds. He can scoot.
Is that officially a sack? Yes, it is. The second to match the entire season total. 4 total now against Favre for the year. Josh Bidwell's punt. And it's very high and very short. And bounces out of bounds inside the 35-yard line. Flag is down back at the Packer 34. Holding Kansas City. Was it after the ball had been kicked?
If it's before the snap, Green Bay will keep it. If it's after, Kansas City will keep it.
Holding. Number 55 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. First down.
Frank Gans
after the kick.
Frank Gans Jr. His dad, a special teams guru for many years.
Here's the hold taking place right there. Gary Stills, the Chiefs player that was called for the snatch and grab.
Dante Hall fairly well held in check by the Packers special teams. He did come close to breaking one for about 70-yard touchdown. But the punter, Bidwell, was able to stop him in the open field. Green on top, long and over the head of Eddie Kennison. Michael Hawthorne working on him.
Well, Dante Hall, initially, the first 2 kickoffs of the game by Ryan Longwell both went out of bounds, not giving Hall a chance to do much of anything. The third one he lost in the sun. And this one, this was a touchdown except for Ryan Long. Oh, my Lord, he just gets a finger on him. And other times it was just good coverage by the Green Bay Packers that have pretty much kept Hall in check.
From the 22 into the flat, complete. Priest Holmes, and Holmes to the 30, and gang tackle there.
I think I said Longwell with the tackle. Obviously, it was Bidwell, the punter. Longwell, Bidwell. Is that the same Bidwell that owns the Arizona Cardinals? Is that...
I don't think so. He might be related. Here comes Hall. 1 punt return for 30. A couple of kick returns for 30. And as we've already documented, a couple of kickoffs out of bounds that gave Kansas City the 40-yard line on their first 2 possessions. Couldn't make a first down. 3rd and a yard, and they'll play it from the shotgun. And they don't hand off to Holmes. Green will pump fake and then slide for the first down out across the 35 in front of Michael Hawthorne. Well, it's a green day in Green Bay. Trent Green for Kansas City and Amon Green for the Packers.
Well, Trent Green, not a very mobile quarterback, but this was just too easy to turn down. A very easy trot for a couple of yards. And so importantly for Kansas City, moving the chains, keeping the ball away from the Green Bay offense that right now is just having their way with the Kansas City defense.
What's Priest Holmes' number?
31.
That's how many rushing yards Kansas City has in the game. Dante Hall trying to reverse his field, can't make something happen as the Packers are following 82 wherever he goes. And we're going to send you to New York and Jim Nantz.
All right, thank you, Dick and Dan. And Cleveland attempts a fake field goal. Dawson runs it for the first down, sets up William Green with the touchdown for the 10-7 lead Browns. They've started the 4th quarter. Let's go on back to you.
So the Raiders' troubles continue as they're struggling in Cleveland against an improved Browns team.
They were on the Raiders are in the midst of their Great Lakes tour. They were in Chicago, Cleveland. They got Detroit in there. They're working over the upper Midwest.
2nd and 13. Here comes the corner blitz. Green sees it, then throws the ball away. Trying to hit tight end Tony Gonzalez. Well, it's fast and furious today. Back to New York.
All right, Miami unable to shake the Jaguars, and Byron Leftwich in the pocket. Now tucks it under. He'll run it in for the touchdown, his first career rushing touchdown. 10-10 tie. Miami and Jacksonville late third. Back to you.
Thank you, Jim. The kid from Marshall, Leftwich, showing that didn't take him long to go to the NFL school and get some A grades.
Kid's the real deal.
3rd and long for Green, shotgun. They rush from the corner. Green down the middle, complete to Johnny Morton, fumbled, or are they going to call it incomplete? They're saying he didn't have control.
You can have control, but remember the new rules. You can have control while you're in the air, but you have to hit the ground and maintain control of the ball. See, he's got it there, but you got to hold on to it. But he loses it on his way down, and you must hit the ground and maintain possession of the football.
And credit that second-year safety Marcus Anderson with another top play.
He got a hand on the football.
50 seconds remain in this third quarter.
If Dick Vermeil is going to challenge this, this is a waste of time and will be a waste of a timeout. There's no chance of this being ruled a completed catch. No chance at all.
No, that's no. Even without the rule, he didn't maintain.
Hopefully Dick's assistants upstairs are looking at that again and saying, no, coach, we didn't mean it. That was an inadvertent buzz.
It's different, and what's confusing even for some fans is you're running out in the open, you have the ball, you gain 5, you gain 10, you get tackled, you go down in the open field, and when you go down, that happens. It isn't a fumble. That's the ball can't, the fumble can't be caused by the ground. But that's not what this rule is.
No. Kansas City, the challenge the ruling on the field, but the pass is incomplete.
Wow, that is really a waste of time for Kansas City. And trailing, they don't exactly have timeouts to burn. See, it doesn't matter if his knee touches the ground. It really doesn't matter, folks. If his knee touches the ground while he has the football, it doesn't end there. He has to hit the ground and maintain possession of the football. If the football comes out, they're going to rule incomplete pass.
So far this year, 62 reviews, and they have overturned around 20%. Ron Winter under the hood.
See the difference, you know, the old rule about the ground doesn't cause a fumble. If I could simplify, if that was a running back and his knee touches the ground, the play is over then. But keep in mind, the running back had possession of the football prior to that part of the play happening. The receiver did not have possession of the football prior to that incident, and that's why he doesn't get the benefit of the old adage, the ground can't cause a fumble.
And to further complicate it, had Morton caught the ball, taken a couple of steps, and that had happened, then it would not have been a fumble.
Because he would have what? Established possession.
I mean, it would have been a catch.
By running a couple steps, he would have established the fact that he had possession.
I think we've seen a very declarative view, but here's another angle. He's got it there, but doesn't have it there.
No. Right? They're doing the wave at Lambeau. Haven't seen this in a while. Doing it very well, too, I might add. As this thing works counterclockwise around the stadium here.
Derek Combs, number 45, he had a hand in there as well. A former Kansas City player. In fact, came here from the Chiefs for a future draft. Taking a surprisingly long time.
Well, the Chiefs are probably arguing there that you know, he's down by contact because he got touched, but still, in every shape, manner, and form that it's been explained to all of us announcers, you've got to hit the ground and keep the football.
After review, the receiver did not maintain control of the ball throughout the process of completing the catch. Therefore, the pass is incomplete. It's a fourth down. Kansas City is charged with a timeout.
You're right on, Daniel. as now the punt team comes on.
Well, I think it really makes, I think the NFL did a smart thing because it really simplifies it for the fans and everybody. You know, when a guy hits the ground, he's got to keep it.
Baker drives a nice spiral toward Antonio Chapman. Drifts to the 23. Runs into his own man and then into a white jersey at the 27. 45-yard punt, 5 on the return. Monday night, always a big night on CBS. It begins with Yesteryear and Still Standing, then the Emmy Award-winning Best Comedy Everybody Loves Raymond, and the new hit comedy 2.5 Men. That'll be followed by Monday's #1 drama, CSI Miami, and then an all-new late show with David Letterman. And what a show it is tomorrow night. Monday night, CBS, America's most watched network. And next Saturday, college football, Florida at #7 Arkansas, the Home Depot SEC on CBS, and the action begins with Tim Brando and Spencer Tillman on Olympus College Football today. Ron Green into the pile to the 29-yard line. Fujita and others in on the stop. Green, a big Batman. We saw him yesterday, and he had his Gotham City sweatshirt on, and of course he's got that well publicized tattoo of Batman on his calf. He has about 100 pieces of Batman memorabilia. And they even play the Batman theme in the spirit of this fine running back here at Lambeau Field.
I wonder if he sees Jack Nicholson, he would get after him. If he still harbors a grudge for him playing the Joker. What do you think?
Hey, watch out for the Joker. I know his tricks. End of the quarter. Green Bay in the lead. We'll be back after this message and a word from your local station. There's the beautiful atrium, and they set that up for big convention parties and affairs. And then there's 3 levels, 3 big rooms where weddings are hosted, and then the museum and the game activities are in that area as well. As here's a man who's a gamer, Favre, and just incomplete off Javon Walker. Was up high over Dexter McCleon and almost stole the catch. Walker from Florida State in his 2nd year, and he's developing into a top target.
But this is Brett Favre giving his receivers a chance to make a play. And Dexter McCleon, he could have bitten on that earlier move by Javon Walker, but he goes right with it. He just mistimed his jump just a tad. You can see he was on his way back down as the football got there. But Dexter McCleon, Dick Vermeil telling us his best defensive back, playing at a higher level than anybody else in that KC secondary.
3rd down and 7 for Favre out of the shotgun. Good protection, and then he flips it to Green. And Green twisted around on his feet and then out of bounds. Well shy of a 1st down. Again, Fujita makes a good defensive play, and McCleon comes up to assist. Fujita, this 6'5" linebacker from California. He was a walk-on in college, all academic star as well. Last 2 years, all he got was all A's at the University of California, Berkeley, and he's learned this game rather quickly as well. Spiral by Bidwell, the tackler of the game, to Hall. Flags are down. Hall looks for some blocks. He's got one, 30. He's got the wall on the far side, 50, and finally tripped up at the 45-yard line. Did Bidwell get him again?
The crowd,
he did.
The crowd here booing, though. They think there was a clip.
No flag down.
That sprang Dante Hall. Now the officials are talking, but I don't see a flag.
Oh,
there's the flag. It's clear back at the 30-yard line on the near sideline.
Hidden by the standing Packers, yes. It's against Green Bay, illegal man downfield, so the return will count by Hall. I think Josh Bidwell actually got in on that tackle of Hall again. He's become the nemesis. He is the Joker to Batman.
Defense had 12 men on the field at the snap. Penalties decline. Play results in a 1st down.
Too many men. So Hall's return sets up Kansas City at the Packer 42 when we come back. Dante Hall averaging over 21 on his punt returns, gets 32 on that one. As we look at the leaders in the game, and Trent Green having a solid passing game, but the difference in the game is Priest Holmes has not been able to rush for significant yardage, while Lamont Green has.
And those were Morton's receiving totals at halftime.
After the 32-yard return, we'll replay that and show you why the fans were unhappy, thought there was a clip. Green and Kansas City need points. The throw is to tight end Tony Gonzalez, and a first down at the 26.
We'll take a quick look here. Now, look at the official. He's right here to make the call, but look in the upper left. Here comes a block right there by Monty Beisel on Marshall, and the crowd thought it was a clip, but that official was only about 4 or 5 yards away, looking right at it.
Bidwell diving in there, got a piece of the tackle.
I think Bidwell's getting a little more action here on these punts than he really would like to have.
First down at the 27. Trailing 31-14. Green fires toward the end zone. Eddie Kennison can't get there. Niall Diggs putting pressure on Green.
Yeah, the kind of pressure that Steamroller puts on a piece of Jell-O. He rolls right over the top of Trent Green. Trent Green knows it's coming. He saw him all the way, but stood in there and threw a pretty good pass into the end zone. The coverage was there underneath. You could see that Al Harris would have picked off anything thrown short. So under duress, that was a pretty good throw by Trent Green.
It was indeed. Diggs, the aviation management major in college, was ready to fly in on the quarterback. Here's the screen, and it's Priest Holmes in the open. 15-10 and to the 9-yard line. And not to take a thing away from his season, because it's been an outstanding year, Priest Holmes, but it's the first time we've seen him in person since last year. Not quite 100%. When he says even from the press box level, he hasn't got the speed and burst he had last year.
And he said he's close. He said he really believes it's just a question of muscle memory. But look at what Priest Holmes has done in the National Football League in the last couple of years. Yep, more than anyone else in the game.
First and goal. Kansas City trailing by 17. The throw is complete to the fullback Richardson, and he struggles to the 1-yard line in the grasp of Marcus Anderson. Richardson looking for his first touchdown of the season.
And Tony Richardson, Dick, is a football player that any team in this league would love to have. Good lead blocker, outstanding receiver. He's had shoulder problems the last couple of years. He dislocated his shoulder last year with a couple of games left at the end of the season, had to go on IR. But for 9 years in the National Football League, Tony Richardson has just been what the other players would call a football player, a complete player.
And complete, including a great guy in the locker room. Green, nobody open. Now he throws it to the back of the end zone. Is it a touchdown? No. Jason Dunn, the backup tight end from Eastern Kentucky. Rod Walker, who's playing because of the Joe Johnson injury, was putting pressure on Green.
Well, I think Trent Green initially is trying to find Tony Gonzalez. You can see Gonzalez there right at the goal line, but Darren Sharper was all over Gonzalez. Gonzalez, the primary receiver on that. He faked the block, but Darren Sharper, the veteran safety from the Packers, he just ate it up.
Interesting call on second and goal from the 1. Now third and goal from the 1. They try Holmes, and he's able to nose it over the goal line for a touchdown. His 8th rushing touchdown of the season.
And dance with who brung you. Third and short, give the ball to Priest Holmes. Gets a good block from Will Shields out in front. And even though that Nick Barnett's got him by the ankle, Priest still has enough wherewithal to drag him into the end zone, and enough for the touchdown.
So the punt return by Dante Hall sets up the Chiefs, and they go 42 yards in 6 plays. Here comes Morton Anderson.
And they're back in the game if their defense can in any way stop the Packers.
7-time Pro Bowler Anderson kicks the extra point. It's 31-21 in Green Bay.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by the United States Air Force. Cross into the blue. Schick Quattro. 4 blades and 2 conditioning strips for an incredibly close, smooth shave. And by Intel Centrino Mobile Technology.
Great shots of some of the fans here, over 70,000. And there's one place here over on the far side where there's a newlywed couple that were married here last night.
I don't think that was
Barnum. No, that wasn't it. No. And they decided, since one was a Green Bay fan, the other a Kansas City fan, that this would be a perfect spot to start their married life. Chapman starts from inside the 5, gets a block and takes it out to the 30 and down at the 29.
It has been a busy day for the Green Bay offense. They've let lots of people get in it. Bubba Frank started it off with that reception from Favre. Then Amon Green decided, hey, I'll run one in, but then maybe I'll catch a pass on a screen at the 10-yard line and take it in for the touchdown as well. And then Najee Davenport decides I'll get to play with the pigskin, and finally they finish it off with a field goal from Longwell.
50-yard. It was long and it was well done. 31-21, plenty of time, 12 minutes left. Green. Ooh, what a hit. Brian Sims circling around to help out. And we're going to go to Jim Nance in New York for this report.
All right, thank you again there, Dick and Dan. We got a little update here on Miami and Jacksonville. And Fiedler, watch this one closely, to McMichael in the end. Ball is kicked around and finally is picked up by Randy McMichael for the touchdown. It was reviewed over and over again. Stands as a touch. Back to you.
Boy, that's a play that make Dave Casper proud. Throw underneath and complete to Donald Driver. Maslowski and Warfield sandwich him on the stop.
You know, Jim Nance has the best job in the world. He sits in the studio there looking at like a dozen, 15 monitors of all the games.
Every game.
What a deal. Free food. It gets brought to him right there. And he only talks about touchdowns.
He doesn't have to talk about 4th and 10 and a 1-yard gain. He doesn't talk about those. He only talks about the big touchdowns or the unusual
I never thought
plays.
about that. You're right. He gets all the gravy.
Yeah.
He gets nothing but the gravy.
The frosting. Dessert, only frosting. Okay.
But you know what? I like it here.
You got that right, especially here today. Whoa, Amon! And it was only a shirt tail grab that sent him down to the ground. Vonnie Holiday, the former Packer, may have saved a touchdown with the long arm of the law.
Well, speaking of liking it here, I think Amon Green falls into that category. The former Seahawk. He has found a home here in Green Bay, and he's not going anywhere except repeated trips to the end zone. Well, that's just good hard work. There's nothing fancy there. There's getting hit and bounced around and staying low and keeping your pad level down and keeping your legs driving.
91 yards now, and here's Davenport, who has a touchdown, and the big 245-pounder, tough to bring down. But it's not tough to go back to Jim Nance for this rebuttal.
That's all we do. We talk about touchdowns, and I got one more for you here, fellas. It's the star of the day to this point in that Derek Mason. 3 touchdowns on the day. The Texans scored just as we go through the update, but it's 38-17. Titans comfortably in front. Back to you.
Yeah, another touchdown again. See, as he just proves our point.
And I'll tell you something, this Kansas City defense is starting to miss some tackles right now. They're starting to show a little fatigue.
Long arm to Davenport, takes a hit, turns, gets a couple more yards anyway. Najee, a boyhood friend of Santana Moss of the New York Jets growing up in the city of Miami, and former member of the national champions with the Canes in 2001.
Right now, as you look at the leaders down in the corner, this Kansas City, you saw it was a big hit right at the line of scrimmage, but now no wrap-up. It bouncing off, and Davenport and Fisher and Green, the running backs for the Packers, are making the first Kansas City guy bounce off. And then they're getting another 3-4 yards after the hit.
Keeper by Favre, and he was hurried. Good play by Barber, Sean Barber, the linebacker, to force Favre to throw a little sooner into that screen to Henderson that he wanted. Well, the start today, Dan, you said one of the 3 keys to the game was the rushing matchup of these 2 teams, 2 good offensive lines, 2 great backs. Well, here's the results going into this period of the game. 137 yards rushing Green Bay, 29 yards rushing Kansas City. Difference in the game.
And that is directly reflected in the scoreboard. In fact, you'd think it'd be more than just a 10-point game, given the fact that they haven't been able to spring Priest Holmes for any more than that.
3rd and 6. A key down for the Kansas City defense. They need a stop. Empty backfield. Favre. Quick throw. Incomplete. Intercepted. He could go all the way. Favre is the only man to beat. He cuts around Favre, and it's Jerome Woods on his way to a Kansas City touchdown. Take that, Jim Nance.
And can you believe it?
79 yards.
We could be down to a 3-point football game. This is the old tip drill. Defensive backs work on it all the time. Right off the hand of Donald Driver. And then Jerome Woods, who made a good play the play before on Henderson, is just in the right place at the right time. And Brett Favre never had a chance. Woods had 3 Kansas City Chiefs out in front of him. And Brett never had a chance even to get close to it.
Jerome Woods, who missed all of last year, remember, with a fractured leg. That's his 13th, 14th career interception, and his longest return touchdown. Anderson makes it a field goal game. Oh my, how things have turned at Green Bay. 8:46 to go. Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator of the Chiefs, sees a quick 6. So Favre had the Packers driving in scoring position, at least for a field goal. The deflection off Driver's hands, and a 79-yard touchdown return by Jerome Woods. And it's a 31-28 game with 8 minutes 46 to go. Chapman comes up for a short kick and sees an opening. 45, and the kicker was able to knock him out of bounds. And Jason Baker was the last white jersey left for Chapman. Let's go down to Bonnie Bernstein.
Well, Dick, this is the first time this season the Chiefs defense has really been tested. Green Bay has methodically gone down the field, and defensive coordinator Greg Robinson just a few seconds ago made a plea to his defense. Knowing his team's tired, he said, keep your feet moving.
Well, Jerome Woods were moving fastest of all for 79 and a touchdown. 34-yard return for Chapman. That's his longest of the season for Green Bay. The long arm handoff to Mon Green, and the Chiefs defense showing more spirit here. Drop Green for a 2-yard loss. Gary Stills.
Kansas City, though, is really got the rebound from that last series. Yes, they got the great play by Jerome Woods, and they got the lucky tip that came right to him. But prior to that, they were getting beat at the line of scrimmage. They were missing tackles, and I think Green Bay is smart to go back to Amon Green. Keep coming at him with Amon Green if you want to run out the clock and try to move the sticks.
Clock ticking down toward the 8-minute mark here in the final quarter. Shotgun for Favre on 2nd and a dozen. Green in motion, and then they throw back the other way, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Gary Stills. So Stills in on the tackle on 1st down, and the 5-year defensive end linebacker from West Virginia makes the bat down here.
Boy, it all changes, doesn't it, when you have negative yardage on 1st down? All of a sudden, the whole rhythm of your offensive series seems to get thrown out of whack. And now even this Packer offense and the success they've had today with Brett Favre still facing a 3rd and what, a dozen? That's tough to convert.
Chiefs come in with a nickel defense. And Favre, 3rd and 12, rolling right, looking, and finally runs out of room and out of bounds in front of the Packer bench at the 42-yard line. Sean Barber, who was out with what appeared to be a fairly severe neck injury earlier in the game, has returned to make some big defensive stops.
And this will go down in the officials' play-by-play as a sack, as Brett Favre is caught behind the line of scrimmage. And Sean Barber is turning in some performance today. Remember, he hurt his neck earlier in this game and didn't look like he was going to be able to keep playing, but he is.
Kicking toward Dante Hall. He lets it go, and it will trickle into the end zone for the touchback. 7:23 to go. Jerome Woods in the right place at the right time, and 79 yards later, Woods pulls the Chiefs within 3.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nextel Coast to Coast walkie-talkie. Nextel, done. And by the restyled Honda Civic, a smarter car for a smarter driver.
amongst the crowd of 70,000. There they are, Dave Barnum and Maren Sherman, the psychologist from Kansas City, one a Chiefs fan, one a Packer fan. She obviously the Green Bay fan. Happy wedding.
An Arrowhead married a cheesehead.
Well, the Chiefs were down 31-14 coming into the fourth quarter. They pulled within 3 and have the ball. And Green has a man wide open. It's Tony Gonzalez. And Gonzalez trying to outrun Zhu. While Zhu finally gets him down at the 12-yard line. What a play, Green to Gonzalez. Longest of the season by plenty for the Kansas City Chiefs, 67 yards.
Al Saunders goes to play action out of the I formation, and somebody in the Chiefs secondary completely loses track of Tony Gonzalez. Ever since he's been in the league, this guy's not afraid to go down the middle of the field, and he picks up another 20 yards after that stiff arm about Jew.
Well, in field goal range, now looking for a touchdown and the lead, and plenty of movement before the snap. Rod Walker jumped. Was he drawn offside? Nope. Yes, he was.
Offense number 88. 5-yard penalty. Remains first down.
Tonight on CBS, a serial rapist never caught. Now a new tip will start the hunt all over again. Don't miss Cold Case. That's tonight after 60 Minutes on CBS. Great Sunday night movie as well tonight at 9 o'clock with Candice Bergen. Terrific reviews. A white knuckler.
For the Kansas City Chiefs, this is where all those hours on the practice field with Dick Vermeil pay off.
1st and 15. Give it to Holmes inside, and the Packers just relentless against the run all game long. It's Hunt and Barnett this time. And that Nick Barnett has played like a Pro Bowler in this game.
Which he will be one day. The Packers give up an average of 120 yards a game, and Mike Sherman knew that. Remember, he told us, I want my defensive linemen to be more physical. They're doing their responsibilities, but they're not physical enough. I want them to stiffen it as a group, and they have in this game.
2nd and 14. Corner blitz. Throw almost intercepted. Oh, Marcus Anderson had his eyes on going all the way. It was intended for Morton, and Anderson jumped it and had a chance.
You can see Trent Green a little surprised by Al Harris coming on the blitz from clear out on the corner, and he gets rid of it in a hurry. Knowing the corner blitz was coming, that allows Anderson to really jump on the short pattern. He did everything but catch it.
3rd down and 14. Be about a 32-yard field goal if they don't make a first down here. To the end zone for Kennison. Incomplete. Incidental contact. And out comes the field goal unit, and Morton Anderson will try to tie it up.
Dick used the term incidental contact. You could see the feet just get tangled inadvertently, but that ball was thrown well out of the end zone anyway. That even if Kennison would have kept his feet, he couldn't have made a play on that.
It's going to be a 34-yard attempt. Anderson hasn't missed this year, and he's 87% in his career from this range.
That graphic sure does give you a good look at it.
And Anderson couldn't be more pure on that one. Carved it down the middle, and it's even at 31 as the Kansas City Chiefs, 5-0 on the season, best ever in franchise history, have rallied from 31-14 with 17 unanswered points. A look ahead tonight on 60 Minutes. If you were a multimillionaire accused of cooking the books, would you sit down with Mike Wallace of all people? Well, a CEO does just that tonight on 60 Minutes. And then it's TV's most watched new drama, Cold Case, followed by the CBS Sunday movie. It's called Footsteps, starring Candice Bergen, tonight right here on CBS, America's most watched network. And while we're at it, let's remind you that NFL Network analyst Rich Eisen gives his impressions on working at the league office as only Rich can. It's only at NFL.com or at NFL on AOL.
Dick, you have to be so impressed with what Kansas City has done. You know, they've twice overcome deficits. They fell behind 14-0 at the very beginning of the ball game. They overcame that. And then at a later stage of the game, they were down by 17 points. They've overcome that. So on 2 different occasions, this Kansas City football team has had the will to fight their way back into a football game in one of the toughest places to play in the National Football League, Lambeau Field.
How tough? 56 straight games Green Bay has won when they've had a lead of 10 points in a game. They had a lead of 17 coming into the 4th quarter.
Now the downside is number 4 for Green Bay, Brett. He's probably really rattled right about now.
Yeah,
he's probably too scared to go out there and play. Yeah, doesn't he look like he's really
if anyone, I mean, this is exactly what he loves most of all. Hey, come in, let me win a game for you.
That's why you play.
Baker's kick is a good one to Chapman. They fake the reverse. Chapman keeps it, and he gets it to the 28-yard line. Here's how Kansas City has pulled into a tie.
And this is in the 4th quarter. Take a look at this. Priest Holmes powers it in, just stretches the ball across the goal line. And then this bat in the air off the hand of Donald Driver. It goes right to Jerome Woods. With blocking out in front, he steps it all the way down. And then after the long pass to Tony Gonzalez puts him in field goal range, Morton Anderson finishes it off.
Favre going to work to the flat, complete. Donald Driver. No hurry to go for anything big. Let's pick away. And of course, Favre has been just absolutely brilliant. His numbers and the interception certainly not his fault. It's off a deflection. His receiver had his hands on it. He's 24 for 33 and has 255 yards total.
But again, look at that number for Kansas City. I would, in a million years, could have never imagined that they would put 31 points on the board and rush it that, you know, with that low of a figure.
2nd and short, so Green gets the ball, kicks out of the tackle, on his feet to the 50 to the 49. And that'll send him over the 100-yard rushing mark. Mike Wall, who played his college football at the Naval Academy, number 68, with a solid block.
And another missed tackle haunting the Chiefs. Right there is a hit on Amon Green for about a 2-yard gain. But again, with that awesome leg drive, Amon Green, of course, you know why Amon Green, he's probably still upset that Nebraska got beaten last night by Missouri. He's
I'm sure that's in his mind as he breaks out.
Oh, you don't think that's on his mind?
105 yards now for Green. He takes it again to the left side. And he's in the open. One man to beat. It's Greg Wesley, and he gets him out of bounds inside the 25.
This Kansas City defense right now looks exhausted and worn out. And the Green Bay offensive line, as they have been doing all game long, has done a brilliant job. And William Henderson has been a personal escort for Amon Green all day. William Henderson with one crushing block after another. That time he sprang Amon Green for the big one.
Well, and you know, best of all, Dan, a line that stayed together. Now they've been together 4 years, this Green Bay line. They really articulate well.
They articulate well. They block pretty well, too.
And together. Yeah, and there's a stuff by the Chiefs as Najee Davenport finds Sean Barber in his path, giving Amon Green a breather at 131 yards in the game. 4:03 left.
They've been doing that all game long. After a couple plays, Amon Green comes over to the sideline, catches his breath, and then he trots back out onto the field. This time, both of them, I think, are going to stay. No, there's Green still over on the sideline. Hard work being a running back in this league.
2nd down and 12. Najee Davenport's the tailback. Fake to him. Favre dumps it off in the flat. It's incomplete. You can see juggling was Henderson and then pulled it in before he hit the ground. Jerome Woods covering for Kansas City. Well, to come into Green Bay and win and come in as an undefeated team, you could just feel the spirit in the practice we watched Friday. And they just love the fact they had a chance to, you know, they did it to Seattle last week to try to stop the Chiefs' run.
I think a lot of people thought that coming into this game that Kansas City's chances of winning would have been better if they were the 3-2 team, and the Packers would have been undefeated at 5-0. It's tough to take an undefeated record on the road and win. If the Chiefs should win this game, Dick, they are cemented as an outstanding team.
And here's the big play, 3rd and 12. The quick throw to the outside to Driver, and he can't get away from Eric Warfield, who quickly gets company. Fugidia comes over as well as he out comes the field goal unit.
And no chip shot here either.
Well, Bidwell or Longwell actually hit a 50-yarder, his longest of the season.
You can see the graphic displaying what his percent. Those are his lifetime percentages. And he's right there in the 80. What is that? 89%.
In the 40 to 49, he's 74.2%. And this one will be 42 yards. Bad snap, but the hold is good, and the kick is good. Doug Peterson with a great job. He had trouble handling the snap, but he got it set up, and it's 41 yards for Longwell. (34-31) Green Bay.
Well, we have had a little bit of everything today. We look at the touchdowns. We've had 8 touchdowns, multiple field goals, an awesome rushing display by the Packers there with 175 yards rushing. But again, I'm stuck on that anemic rushing figure of 30 yards for the Kansas City Chiefs, and yet they have put 31 points on the board. Their defense has scored 7. They have fewer rushing yards than they do points.
Yeah, they kicked to Dante Hall.
Well, keep in mind, Dick, that he's run back a kick 4 consecutive weeks, but the last 2 weeks have been for game winners, both in the 4th quarter. At Baltimore, he ran back a kickoff, 97 yards. That was with 5 minutes left in the game. And then last week against the Denver Broncos, with 8 minutes left, he ran back a 93-yard punt return. So Dante Hall not only has been effective, he's been dramatic with late game big plays.
Look at this unusual formation as they try to confuse the blocking scheme. And then they kick it on a bounce. It's rolling. Hit the sideline. And he picked it up just in time.
Oh, no, they're going to say that he picked it up and then stepped out of bounds?
Right. At the 10-yard line. But he couldn't gamble. He was hoping it would kick out of bounds. And he was risking the chance that Packer could come down and cover the ball.
Dante's arguing that he didn't pick it up until it touched the out-of-bounds line. This is like a foul ball dribbling down the first baseline. And you know something? He had no choice to do but what he did, because the ball wasn't going to cooperate. It didn't look like the ball was going to go out of bounds. That's a free football.
So this crowd of 70,000 plus on its collective feet now, 90 yards away, are the Kansas City Chiefs with 2:43 left. They have 2 timeouts remaining.
Dick, you got to credit Ryan Longwell with that kick. That made up for those out of bounds.
That was a great kick. Trent Green steps up. Flag down, and so is Green at the 14. Cledius Hunt. And they are motioning face mask are the Chiefs on Hunt.
Personal foul. Rest for the face mask. Defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Major penalty, 15 big ones.
15, and you see it right there. Cledius Hunt puts a major snag onto the face mask of Trent Green. And even though Kabir Bajabiamila ended up with a sack, that doesn't count. They'll assess the 15, and away the Chiefs go.
First down out to the 29-yard line with 2:37 left. Into the flat for Holmes. Gets it across the 30-yard line, but not much. Jamal Reynolds seeing some duty, and Darren Sharper team up on the tackle.
Dante Hall over there with Frank Gans Jr. arguing with the official that the ball went out of bounds, but it really didn't.
You could see that it did not.
And right now, folks, remember when Kansas City used a timeout to challenge what we thought was a very obvious incomplete pass to Johnny Morton? They have 2 timeouts remaining.
And the one coming up on the 2-minute warning. Green down the middle, open man, drops the ball. Eddie Kennison had it right there in traffic, and it would have been a first down in front of Marcus Anderson. 2-minute timeout with Green Bay leading by 3. (34-31), Kansas City looking at a 3rd and 8, and if you think ahead to Morton Anderson, of course he's kicked 160, but say 50 would be about the 32-33-yard line.
That's exactly right. That 60-yarder came like 11 years ago. I don't think there's a 60-yarder left in those 43-year-old legs.
First of all, the Chiefs have 2 downs to get a first down, and Green looks for the throw to the sideline, complete, and out of bounds Johnny Morton with a first down. That's his first catch here in the second half after 5 big ones in the first half. He's over 100 yards receiving.
And this is really just a good move right there that he puts on Combs. Has a chance for a double move inside, then back to the outside, and then the break to the sideline. And you're right, Johnny Morton had an explosive first half with 5 catches for 95 yards and nothing until then.
Plenty of time. 1:53. Shotgun first down at the Chiefs 43. Green complete to Gonzalez into Green Bay territory at the 44 in front of Al Harris.
And the last couple of times, Green Bay coming with a 4-man pass rush, and they're being easily controlled by this huge offensive line of the Chiefs, and into double coverage. You can see that Trent Green throws that pass to Tony Gonzalez. They had him short, they had him deep, and Trent Green feathered it right into the all-pro tight end.
Another 12, 13 yards, and they're in reasonable range for Morton Anderson. 1:47 left. Green to Priest Holmes. 40, stays on his feet. 35, 31-yard line, and a first down. Marcus Anderson finally drags Holmes to the turf. And there's Morton Anderson. Boy, he knows this drill. And as cool as Brett Favre is as a passer and a field general, this man's got Danish Copenhagen ice in his veins. Favre hoping if they're going to score, hurry up, because I want my chance. But it's first down with 1:11 to go. Holmes inside the 25-yard line, and the clock ticks under a minute. Navies and Anderson with the stop.
Well, yards have been tough for Priest Holmes to come by in this game, but those were some tough ones up the middle right there.
They spend their second timeout to the Chiefs. 1 remaining for Dick Vermeil.
So Kansas City with only 1 remaining. Let's go ahead and lay it out here if you want an idea of where the Chiefs are and how good Morton Anderson is from those ranges.
This would be about a 36, 37-yard field goal.
You can see he's 87, then goes to 97 once he gets inside.
Over 60% from if they had to kick one right now. On a glorious day in Green Bay, Wisconsin. 60 degrees, blue skies. Kansas City unbeaten, and the Green Bay Packers has battled into the final minute. Kansas City is in field goal range. High scoring, high productive game, although the Packers have certainly outrushed the Chiefs. Brett Favre has had a magnificent day, as often he has here at Lambeau Field. But it's the Chiefs with the ball, trailing by 3 at the 24 of the Packers. Priest Holmes stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Kabir Bajabiamila leads the charge. That'll bring up third down.
And the Packers that time really committing to the run. 8 guys on the line of scrimmage, and they made it pay as the Chiefs tried to run right into it. Ed Donatel, the defensive coordinator of the Packers, he's got an interesting call here, because keep in mind, as Dick told you, the Chiefs have not been all that effective in running the football. Their gains today have been through the air.
3rd and 3. Only Holmes in the backfield. Green to Holmes.
Plenty of room to run on the sideline, and he finally ducks out at the 13. And now well within a tying field goal for Morton Anderson, but Green and the Chiefs with 13 seconds left and one timeout have at least one shot at the end zone.
And Priest Holmes knew where he was, knew his team only had one timeout left. And when he found himself at the sideline, he maximized his yards. But then when push came to shove, let me step out of bounds and stop it. And the Chiefs now, with a timeout remaining, have a chance to try for a touchdown.
Kennison to the right, Morton, and now Priest Holmes way out to the left, and that's Mark Bullrichter in motion.
Let Gonzalez leap for it.
And did he hang on? No, as Nick Barnett makes the defensive play. Tony Gonzalez, the intended receiver.
And Barnett landed badly and is hurt. Ball bounces off the hands of Gonzalez.
Had a touchdown earlier in the game.
Kansas City thought, ooh, we might have been close.
9 seconds left. Barnett's okay. He stays in, this brilliant rookie middle linebacker from Oregon State.
Well, 9 seconds. You've got chance for one more play. But you better be, if you catch this thing and you're not in the end zone, you better get down fast. Don't be reversing your course.
Green. Incomplete. He tried to throw behind Kennison, hoping Kennison could pull up, but they weren't in communication there. Out comes Morton Anderson, the ageless one, to try a tying field goal. 349-yard passing day for Trent Green.
And those percentages you see were
3 touchdowns.
And the 80+ percentage point here for Morton Anderson. And from a psychological standpoint, this is a guy who's been there and done that. I don't think he's too rattled.
31 yards. Timeout is called. This one won't count. Packers calling a very late timeout, apparently.
The ball was snapped. Timeout was requested by Green Bay. Their first 30-second timeout.
Doesn't hurt to spend it here with 5 seconds left.
Mike Sherman telling his defensive team, guys, take a timeout. And you can see that Barnett signals it well before the snap of the football.
We'll go back to New York and an update on the scores and highlights, and then on to our second games. Here's the lineup. Most of you will see the Steelers out at Mile High against the Broncos. Some of you Buffalo and the Jets, and others Baltimore at Arizona. The second half of our CBS doubleheader. Morton Anderson, like Brett Favre on the other sidelines. 2 men destined for the Hall of Fame. Here's a man who has scored in 300+ consecutive games. Now to tie it. No doubt about it. And Anderson and the Chiefs, who are down 31-14 entering this fourth quarter, rallied in the big play. A Karam interception that went to Jerome Woods, and Woods, the safety for Kansas City, a 79-yard interception return for a touchdown. And now Anderson in the final second, 1 second left, has tied it at 34.
Well, I don't think Morton Anderson, that's no big deal for me. Trying to protect their 5-0 record, undefeated Kansas City Chiefs. Poor Mike Sherman and the Packers have seen a couple sizable leads evaporate in this game. At point in this football game, they were ahead by 14 points, and then they were ahead by 17 points. They were 14-0 early in the game, and then they were up 30-14 in the second half.
We should also, I know many fans have joined us. Dante Hall, who had 4 touchdowns in 4 consecutive games. Hall almost had one. He had open field, had run 30 to midfield, and Josh Bidwell was the only Green Bay, and somehow Bidwell made the tackle that Hall was going to make it for.
When yard away from Bidwell was even going to touch him. Here it is right here. This we almost saw NFL history right. Hall hits up field. He's going to face inside, back to the outside. Look at Bidwell. He just snatches his 1 foot. He gets a hand on the right foot foot of Dante Hall him up. There wasn't another player with yards at that moment.
Going down that short pass, 30 to 35 and down to 37. Position for, well, it's over. The regulation game is over, and we're on sudden death overtime. And the flip coin, I don't know how you feel at home, whether it's a true advantage. Cost.
Well, the way these two offenses have been moving, I want the first.
Especially with that and Dante Hall again.
Yeah, Dante Hall gives Kansas City a whammy. Again, refresher of the rules here time. We'll flip only for 15 minutes. Whether you use all your timeouts, you get a pair of them here in overtime, and it is Sunday. And both these teams offensively have this. You need to think that the first guy that gets a football is got to see I'm on to win.
Let's listen to Robert.
Timeout. Will be 4.
Toss. Von Pecker, who has transferred his talent to Kansas City, is an unrestricted free agent call. DeMille's team, high power, high octane. They get first in overtime in Green Bay. Here we go. Atlanta. Overtime. Hall, Robert Ferguson, who the special teams trying to tackle one electrifying cat. It's not Ferguson, who made that statement, pushes him out of bounds. So begins at the 30-yard line.
And Ferguson did a maintaining on that side of the field. Frankie can do it. He can get around the corner. Ferguson, number 8, is going to be responsible. He's going to clear the side. But where's number 8? Right back there. Stay where he was instead of pursuing too much, getting caught in the middle.
Ferguson gives to Pure Priest Holmes, and Holmes bangs forward for 4. Marcus Anderson, who was not a starter until this week, and on Edwards with the ankle injury, and he has to be in double figures today. He and Nick Barnett carry the load defensively.
Kansas City hasn't been able to break Holmes loose in the running game. This is the perfect time to start. Why? If you're waiting for something, Kansas City, don't wait any longer.
Only 46 yards rushing for the Chiefs. Holmes hit at the line of scrimmage and able to struggle forward to the 38-yard line. Cledius Hunt to make the play.
We're taking a look at where the Chiefs are now, and then that line. Now that line is where the Chiefs need to be for Morton Anderson's longest field goal ever of 60 yards. In reality, they need to get somewhere down in this area down here around the 32, the 33. That would be a 50-yarder.
Yeah,
that 60-yarder came a long time ago.
And it came indoors at the Superdome.
Right.
Not to take a thing away from his prowess. He's had a couple of 46-yarders this year.
Yeah, a good rule of thumb to keep in the back of your mind. The 33-yard line pretty much equates to a 50-yard field goal.
They make the first down, and Anderson and the Chiefs will get another 4. Mike Sherman's Packers trying to stop the winning streak of Kansas City. Best ever in franchise history. No Kansas City team, even those great Hank Stram Super Bowl teams of the 60s won their first 5.
By the way, Dick, the good news is that 60-yarder came in October for Anderson. October of '91.
That relates. All right, first down, 39. Holmes again. And he seems to be picking up steam, running better now in overtime than any quarter of the game. Barnett gets him to the turf, but not until another 6-yard gain. Well, while we're tied in overtime in Green Bay, let's go to New York for this report.
All right, Indianapolis, Dick and Dan has suffered its first loss of the season. Carolina remains unbeaten. Casey with the winner, 48 yards out. A first possession overtime win. They took the kick, drove it down, got the winner. Back to you.
How about the Panthers? Boy, there is the surprise team in the league. Holmes cuts back behind some blocks, and he's close to another first down, a yard or so shy. Bajabiamila and Navies collaborate on the stop.
When the Kansas City Chiefs have had success, and that success has been limited in running Priest Holmes, it has been the more straightforward between the tackles running. Times that Priest Holmes has gotten himself parallel to the line of scrimmage, this team speed of the Packers defensively has caught up with it.
At midfield, a big call, 3rd and 1. And they give it to Holmes. Dives to the 50 for the first down. So that gives them 60 yards rushing. And boy, they've been punishing hard-earned in every regard for Priest Holmes today.
Well, this is a big veteran offensive line. Will Shields, the right guard, comes across. Watch him come from right to left. See Big Will right there? Cutting right off his hip is Holmes up into the air. And Nick Barnett, the rookie middle linebacker, went low and Holmes went high. That was they both took to the air, but one higher than the other. That was well done by the Priest.
First down, 12 minutes left in overtime. Trent Green hands off to Holmes. Holmes has some opening. 45-44. Stopped rudely by Nick Barnett. That 4.6 decathlete speed of his, the rookie. Second game of the doubleheader coming up. Stay with us, and we've got a good lineup for you. Pittsburgh and Denver. Denver trying to rebound from their loss to this Kansas City team last week, and the Steelers hungry for a win. Buffalo at the Jets. Key for those two Eastern teams. Stay tuned. That second half of our doubleheader to follow. Second and short. Green hasn't thrown a ball in overtime yet here at Lambeau, and he won't hear as Holmes again finding a hole. And he fights his way for a first down inside the 40.
Dick, my old college coach, Bo Schembechler, loved it when players kept the long axis of their body perpendicular to the goal line. And that is what Priest Holmes is doing on this drive. He is running upfield, north, south, call it whatever you want to run it. Don't get fancy. Don't try to challenge outside. Priest Holmes and this Kansas City offensive line right now are hammering away between the tackles against the Packers.
Favre silently screams inside. Hold him so I get a chance. Holmes again finds a hole and gets inside the 35 to the 33. Well, Holmes had only 31 yards rushing the 3 quarters of this game, and now in the 4th quarter overtime he has 46 yards.
Well, they're down to a 50-yarder now for Morton Anderson. When you get the ball down in this range, you're right now about a 50 to 51-yarder. I would want to be a whole lot closer, given the fact that you're on grass outdoors. I'd like my man Morton to be a lot closer.
2nd and 5. Bo Richter in motion. Holmes cuts back, finds a small hole, and then he is met fiercely by Cledius Hunt and Marcus Anderson.
Well, this is how you stand up a running back. Priest Holmes makes his cut upfield. First is Hunt with his left shoulder, then Anderson with his right. But mostly that was Cledius Hunt, the defensive tackle. That's how you front a guy up and stand him up. The last team to go 6-0. Look at that. They went to the Super Bowl. The 99 Rams. Who was coaching that team?
Mr. Vermeil on the sidelines with Kansas City, and Green now. Almost intercepted by the ever-alert Darren Sharper, and he's one of the best in cutting off that angle in the league. That's why he has more interceptions than anyone in the last 4+ years, 26. Ooh, just a little bit outside his reach.
And here comes Morton Anderson. He has 30 game-winning field goals in his magnificent career of 22 seasons in this league. They'll kneel at the 38-yard line. It'll be a 48-yard attempt. He has 2 46-yarders this year, 2 today.
I think this is the outer limits of his range.
It's up. It is no good. Partially blocked. The Packers deny.
Well, anytime you feel that you're on the outer limits of your range, sometimes you have a tendency to drive the ball a little lower than normal.
They're congratulating Rod Walker in the middle of that defensive line, the veteran who's playing because Joe Johnson was injured earlier, number 95.
A good snap, a good hold, and really not much in the way of penetration. Really just a hand in the air, in which case you got to think that ball was just driven a wee bit low by Morton Anderson.
Number was obscured. Now Favre gets his chance with good field position, the 39. Amon Green, who's had a sensational day, fumbles the ball, and it's recovered by Kansas City's Mike Maslowski. He caught it midair, the fumble. Green, who's been so reliable, and coughs it up at the Kansas City 48. Maslowski standing as the ball popped right into his lap.
And Amon Green had broken through and was on his way to maybe even a bigger play. Maslowski helps Amon Green up to his feet. Defensive guys are always very courteous to the guy who just fumbled. It gives them a longer time to talk to them and say, if you try this again, we'll knock it out again. Again, following William Henderson, who gets a fine block, but it was the helmet, looked like Jerome Woods. Looked like Jerome Woods, number 21, put a hat right on the football. Yep, there it is, right there.
Woods, who missed the entire season last year because of the fractured leg in the preseason, has delivered the big interception touchdown. Now Green, he's going for the long one for Kennison. He's got him at the 10, the 5, touchdown at Kansas City with an incredible victory in Green Bay today in overtime.
And the Chiefs remain undefeated. Dick, can you believe this?
Rallying from 41-14 going into the fourth quarter. The biggest fourth quarter deficit to win a game in Kansas City history. 6-0, and how they earned it in Green Bay. Oh my.
And what a stunned Green Bay Packer football team and stadium. You can see the stutter step by Eddie Kennison. Bao Zhu just falls all over it. And Trent Green given great protection in the play action by his offensive line. And imagine this Kansas City team coming from 2 deficits of 14 and 17 points.
And what a game by Trent Green, not always the most popular chief. And Amon Green, understandably so upset with himself. This fumble sets it up. A 51-yard touchdown by Eddie Kennison from Trent Green, who threw for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns in a Kansas City dramatic win in Green Bay today. For Dan Deerdorf and Bonnie Bernstein, this is Dick Enberg. Thank you for joining us in Green Bay. Stay tuned for the second game of our doubleheaders. So long from Green Bay.